are doing good. Or should I say, wow, I've been up since 10 a.m. and I won't hold you too long. But basically, in this video, I'm coming through. I don't know why I posted on the community yesterday about 12 to 15 hours ago, and it said that I put in there $100 for 10 spots, which is 10 people to join the raffle that we'll be doing for the summer solstice slash my birthday event. As well as we are doing 30-minute readings. I believe normally my 30-minute reading is 120. And then, of course, we're also doing a raffle for you to enter to do some case work. Like I said, I don't know why it was not posted. Come on there, CJ. Hazel. Come on, Heather 82 Skies. I don't know why it wasn't posted. Oh my God, I gotta do this. It won't take that long. It won't take that long. Hold on. You know the weather's heating up when, honey, all these fucking bugs start coming out. And so Anubis and Bella, hold on. Their food can't sit around, so I monitor their fooding, and then when I see they haven't touched it, I put it away, including their water. Because, the fucking spiders and shit, honey, they start coming out looking for food. And so, by the way, I spilled some of the food, honey. So, yes, honey, I have to backing that up, honey. Who you doing? So, yes, honey. I don't know why they did not post it. I actually put the price and everything in there yesterday, y'all. And I thought that was so weird. It got posted. I was like, what the fuck? Same thing with some of my lives. I told y'all I did that reading, and it appeared that the reading was not there. And then like an hour or two later, I come back and the reading is there. So I was able to post it. But I was like, that's weird. Like YouTube is doing that, but whatever. So yesterday, you guys, I went into Whole Foods because I'm looking for seaweed and kelp and all that, and different types of seaweed and kelp, to incorporate into my diet daily, which is really, really good for you, by the way. And Whole Foods, the only place out of all the Asian markets here, I mean, just everything, girl, they only had seaweed. Nobody had, kelp, which is used in a lot of, the Japanese cuisine. And so either way, y'all, I was able to get wakame and kombu. And it was in Whole Foods, and I was so shocked to see other stuff like a veggie top that had like tofu, cabbage, and all this other stuff in it. And I put hemp seeds and all that. I've learned to slow it down, y'all, because if you put too much hemp seeds, and too much hemp seed oil, it will clear you the fuck out. Hello. Okay, girl, you'll be cleared out, 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 out. It makes everything a slippery slope. So I slowed down on it, honey, because I was like doing the oil and doing the hemp seeds, and I was just like, "Ooh, girl, can't do all that." And you gotta slowly incorporate stuff into your diet anyway, so your body can become acclimated to the effects of the stuff. And so either way, yeah, I got all that yesterday. Then I also noticed that they had a sale on top of a sale. So they had a sale for people who don't have Amazon Prime, and then they also had a set of people who do. So it was a sale knocked down for like $8 to like $5. And then you had Amazon Prime, it went from $5 to $3. And girl, y'all know I was in there stripping like a motherfucker. They have this new body wash from Bailey's and Harding called Goodness Awakens Senses. And basically, the scent is lime and eucalyptus with a little bit of extracts of juniper berry and ginger. So, I got that. I got some other stuff too, honey. But I really was going there for the seaweed and the kelp. Yes, honey. I did go in there. I did put them out on there. It's $100 for 10 spaces. I got an email for one person. Then I saw that someone left a comment. I was like, oh, they're probably telling me the same thing. But no. But yeah, I don't know why I did not post. So I went in and I added it. And so listen, you all, I want to come back later. That's I'm not gonna, be on this long. I'm gonna come back later and I want to have a discussion about something. Uh, I have a lot of discussions with friends about worldly affairs. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna come back on YouTube, and that's what I'm gonna start doing. And not giving my foo foo doo doo tutu shit, because you're not gonna be pissing me off about some of these people, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Everybody got an answer except for when it comes down to their own bullshit. Everybody can tell you why Megan Thee Stallion relationship did not work out with her husband or her boyfriend or her fiance. They could tell you why T.S. Madison is this and that, but a hoe can't figure out why she ain't got no money, never had no money, and why no man wants to be with her. And that be another thing to me, y'all. Why I be saying this too, as a cisgendered woman, I would be flaunting around, if I was in those circumstances as a cisgender woman that's able to have children and get married to a heterosexual man, which allegedly people say that's a rare commodity. That's a hot, treasure in certain parts of the world, including like Atlanta and stuff. A lot of these girls would come from Atlanta too. A lot of these messy ass queens, cisgender queens. But either way, it be gagging me because I'm like, the only thing that will lay you girls out, you transgenders and you whatever I would think of y'all out, would be the fact is that I can have a baby and I have a baby with a man. And on top of that, I got money because of that. I got a child and baby, we set for life. Like that would be the only way I believe that you could really lay me out as being anything outside of who I am and what I am. Because at the end of the day, girl, we know that we all are trying to survive. We're in survival mode, honey. We're trying to pay our bills. We're trying to survive. We're trying to eat. We're trying to do all that. So it's like, girl, whether you're cisgendered or not, transgender or cisgender, it doesn't matter. Because it's one or the other, which the coin has been used since the 1990s. I know a lot of you, you're English, a lot of you been speaking English for the past 200, 300 years, and you didn't know that. And we know that, and that's okay, honey. We don't hold judgment against people, honey. We're not like y'all, okay? You like to judge people. We don't judge you, girl, because you were ignorant to the English language. But either way, um, that would be the only thing, like I said, you'd be able to let me out with. It's like that you had a child and this man has taken good care of you. Because in all actuality, like I said, money doesn't mean nothing. All that stuff doesn't mean nothing. You have broke straight people, you got rich straight people, you got educated straight people, you got uneducated straight people. Like at the end of the day, sexuality and your gender and how you identify with yourself is ultimately you. And like I explained to someone years ago, and I'll continue to say this because on, social media or on Bigo, and I mean, excuse me, on social media and YouTube and stuff, I go by the term Madam Merkaba, Mystic Persia, whatever. On other platforms and EINYs and all that stuff, I go by Goddess. 2007 is when it was really given to me, is when I really started using it. And now, of course, it is on a tax documentation. So that being said, my pronouns, my gender and all that is goddess. Baby, I don't give a fuck about it being she, her. I don't give a fuck about being woman and none of that, honey, because at the end of the day, we are ultimately here to portray the divine feminine or the divine masculine. And so at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. It doesn't matter if you call somebody a man, a woman, and all that. I mean, your simple mindedness, it does. Your simple mindedness, I'm offended that you would call me cisgender. Your simple mindedness will also be, I'm offended that you called me a black bitch. No, superior to that, these are words that men created, and you allow these men to give you power, or you allow these men to have power over you. Not these men give you power, but it could be used to that too, because people have titles with a sense of like security in these titles, when in reality, it doesn't mean shit. In reality, if they were to take the dictionary right now and stop using terms like woman or man, you guys will gag because there's a lot of terminology that we've used, and it's just an example of people, I would even say God, showing you that words are just words. Yes, words have power, but it's the intention behind the words that give it power, because there's terms that are used or were used for a very long time, like transvestite, and they said those are outdated terms. They said the new term is like femboy. And I'm like, I thought that was cross dressing. I thought, when a man put on woman garments but still identifies as a man, I thought that was called cross dressing, gender bending, and transvestism. But according to what I did my research on, they said that's an outdated term. And I'm like, what the fuck? How did it become outdated within the past 10 years? And so it's like, if they start outdating men and women, y'all would gag. Y'all would want to fight everybody. But it's just like I said, you didn't create the word, so you have no power of the word. So you don't own the word. So if you don't own the word, why am I fighting for something that I don't own? Why am I trying to prove to you something that you don't own? And so for me, like I said, you see feminine energy, you feel feminine energy. I don't have to tell you what it is. When you see me, even if you clock that I'm male or not by birth, you are going to say, this is an effeminate man. Oh, this man is so feminine. Or why is this man trying to be a woman? You are acknowledging divine feminine energy still. And at the end of the day, I saw that that's all that's important is the exalting, okay, of divine feminine energy. Okay. And so with that being said, that's all that matters. Like I said, I do want to talk about some topics and, I would like to, touch on them and, tap into some energies on them and, keep it pushing, you know what I mean? And all that, y'all. Uh, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? There's something else I want to say too, but maybe I'll save it for the tea. I already told you about the situation where I had to like read, this person down. I had a discussion with someone. And this is not YouTube matters, but still, I had a discussion with someone about this particular individual, and they're like, you know what? I always saw this individual as a messy person. I'm gonna say this, because I'm real. I'm open. I'm open. I'm real. Let's be real. So I was talking to some, if you guys don't know the term, butch queens are uh men who have some feminine traits, but they are still men. They still identify as males and they present as males. They may, put on some garments every now and then, but these are males, right? So the butch would be the masculine energy, and the queen would be the little feminine side that comes out every now and then, or it's there. And then of course, femme queen will be someone who was born anatomically male, but they do not present as that. They're very feminine, and so the lingo is femme queen for that. And so that's what I'm going to use in this dialogue because that's how we communicate with each other. So of course, I got on this platform and I met a whole bunch of butch queens who tried to act like they were femme queens. And I really feel like out of this whole group of these so-called transgender people, there's only maybe three of us that were actually femme queens. I think the rest of these boys were just butch queens that were trying to get straight men. And that's what a lot, I'm not gonna say what all they do, but that's what a lot of butch queens do. They give off the illusion that they could be feminine to try to get a straight man because that for some reason they had some type of odd competition with transgender people. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. That's how the non-binary shit came around, but I'm gonna get up off of that. I digress. And so either way, we're in this group and girls became so competitive and so just comparative to who's the best femme queen and stuff. I'm just like, but who's out here fighting for that? Like, what do I look like with my gender mark changed, my identification changed, my legal name changed, my whole status as a woman has been a woman since I became of legal age, which is 18 years old. I got this stuff done at 17. I was still a teenager, babe. Okay, a lot of you wait until you're like 20 some years old to do this. And like I said, I'm not judging. That's your business. Look at Dominique Morgan. She went until she was 36, 37 years old to transition. That's your business. I just know for me, it was a little different, honey. If I am who I am and I was always aware of who I was and I didn't need anybody to tell me who the fuck I am, bitch, I'm gonna let you know who I am before you could tell me who the fuck I am. And I have this common sense as even a kid. And so either way, um, we would just be like battling over stupid shit like men and shit. I'm like, girl, I'm not fighting over no online man. Like, girl, do you know who the fuck I am? Girl, I'm not battling over no man that probably is into children, dogs, cats, rats. He done dig down everybody over there in New York and Florida and all that. Like, girl, let's not get into that. There's a lot of trends. There's a lot of femme queens that are not here right now, y'all. And I want y'all to understand this. This is why it's so personal to me when it comes to discussing, House in Virginia and awareness in disguise. There's a lot of girls right now, I can name 10 of them that are no longer here because they were into community trade. And community trade is a man that gives everybody his peen. And it's scary, okay? And it's true. And so there's 10 girls that are deceased right now because they slept with this same community piece and he gave them this and they're no longer here. And so I'm not a fan of community trade. Never been a fan of community trade. Don't care for it. Any girl that's into that, girl, that's your business. And as I said, personally, me speaking, we're in 2026. If you are still contracting things like House in Virginia's and Awareness in Disguise, these are all personal choices, babe. So at the end of the day, you cannot expect the world to have sympathy for you or to be like, damn, like I really sorry for this person, when in reality, you should be conscious and aware of this, especially being in a particular community. And so, of course, I don't hold people accountable for their own ignorance, even though I could. I don't, because, of course, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they got high and they did something. Maybe they got drunk and did something. Even then, these are still responsible choices. And so, as a person who's been there and done that, girl, I'm not stupid enough to say I'm going to have unprotected sex. And so, people can do what they want to do and how they want to do it. But like I said, it's dumb. It's ignorant and it's motherfucking stupid to be out here fucking on people unprotectedly. Whether or not you're gay, straight, bi, black, white, if this is your husband, it doesn't matter. Girl, we are not living in 1970, girl. We're not living in 1950, 1960, girl. It is 2000 motherfucking 26 where HIV and AIDS and status of other sexually transmitted diseases are high. And we're also becoming bacterial, antiviral, antibacterial resistant. And believe it or not, they're actually encouraging to speed up. That's why they came out with Doxy Prep and all these other preps, because your body become immune to antiviral medication. And what end up happening is when you actually is introduced to this strand or another strand, your body becomes immune to that, to where they either got to make it stronger, which is going to take you all the way out, or you're just going to get it and it's going to take you out. So the smartest thing to do, whether or not you're on Doxy Prep or you're on any of that, baby, is to use protection and be mindful about who and what you give yourself to. Period. I was a sex worker, baby. I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And I want to knock a wood on this because no STD, no STI, none of that. Ever. Ever. Because I'm very mindful about who and what I share my energy with. And so going into that, we're sitting here having this little private thing without getting too sidetracked. Because I know this would be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Remember, that's what it's girl. I try to get into detail about every fucking thing. Maybe I need to just learn how to just get to the fucking point and shut the fuck up. Where my bell at? Maybe I need to just learn how to get to the point and shut up, bitch. But anyway. So, two of them, leaving out of this group, I meet, these butch queens. And some of these butch queens, they seem shady. They're from Atlanta. Atlanta and Florida got a lot of shady butch queens. New York does as well, but I feel like who takes the icing on the cake for shady ass butch queens is Atlanta and Florida. I would say in between both of them. The scamming, the tricking, the debate, all that, girl. No tea, no shade. If you want to debate it, girl, hit me up. Hello! You want to be a butch queen, you are a butch queen, and you want to let me have it, and you want to let me know what it is, what it ain't, please educate me. Okay, because baby, hello? Please educate me. Because anywho, like I said, and I love my Florida people. I love don't get it twisted. I love my Florida, love my Georgia people, just like I love my New York people. I'm just saying, there'd be a lot of scams and shit going on with you butch queens out there. A lot. Okay, a lot, darling. Okay, identity theft, check frauding, and girl, all that. And so either way, I found out that one of these butch queens became a butch queen who he want to say he's gender fluid, but he's using gender fluid as that he's into man and he's into woman. But I've never heard him talk about any vagina. Hello, respectfully, I only hear him talk about penis and ass. Anyway, and so he said he's gender fluid, and I found out that he got his introduction to the community allegedly by going on Grinder, meeting up with these people. And I never see, that's how we say, girl. I know that my LGBT people have brain cells. Why don't y'all use it most of the time? Why don't y'all use these brain cells most of the time? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I've watched these crimes that has happened off of Grinder about people like meeting up with these people and doing them in, and I'm just like, but why? How would you not know this was a setup? How would you not? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, so he would get on Grinder in Georgia area, Atlanta, and all surrounding areas, and he would meet up with these gay men who would want to get high and have a sexual experience, or they thought they were meeting up with a trade guy to get high to turn out, because that's what they do. Yes, honey, the butch queens and the femme queens, they try to turn people out. And we had this discussion the other day about sociopathic butch queens and femme queens. Those are the ones that do that. The ones that are non-sociopathic, we don't do that. We don't care to turn you out. Bitch, you want it, you don't, you don't. We don't give a fuck. Okay? At the end of the day, we really don't. Hello? We really don't, babe. Hello? We don't. But either way, they try to turn these boys out. And so some of these people thought they were meeting up with this heterosexual man, and I don't know how they thought this man was heterosexual. Because girl, he this butch queen is just girl. He is just so feminine and just so oh girl, he's just so feminine looking in these pictures. And shit. I'm just like, how did they think that this is a butch? Like this is a straight man with blue hair and shit, like girl, and just girl, he got a super in the front of his hair and shit. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Y'all thought this hair was straight, and then he was an emo guy, a gothic guy, and I'm like, yeah, that's what feminine people do. We hide under the gothic and emo style because we could put on the lashes, the eyeliner, the makeup and stuff, and conceal that we are what we are. That's what we do. That's what I did, right? And so either way, this man was meeting up with these boys, and I just imagine what these kids were looking like. No shade, because I seen all his exes, and I'm just like, ugh. I'm glad we all have a type, and I'm glad some of y'all take some of those types away from people like me. Hello, keep fucking with them so they don't hit my motherfucking ass up. And so anyway, he over here meet up with these boys to get high, and then he'll like take off with the weed. And this is what he's saying openly and honestly. But I'm like, was it only weed or was it money too? Because you also have a criminal record. And of course, he'll want to discuss that. But because I can tap in, Mama knows things. So he didn't want to tell people what his name and stuff was. But, Spirit always reveals all things to what all things to be revealed to. Because it says that I am who I say I am. And I am all things that I see. And I see you and you see me and we see three and more to be. You know what I mean? And so I'm just like, yeah, you got a criminal record. And so are you sure it was just marijuana? And either way, you all, so these other butch queens was around him, and they seem to be a little different, right? At least I thought. One of them, I think he is different. He's the one that's going to get into doing some things for me in this channel. And so either way, the other one who's allegedly a boss, he's 25 years old. Allegedly, he's a manager at some place over there in, Illinois. And he just comes across a little like I don't trust this energy. And allegedly, he don't show himself on camera because he said that he want to be able to close out the app and be done. He don't want people to ever be able to pull him up. But I'm just thinking to myself like, that still doesn't make sense to me, because if you want to be on social media and you don't want people to ever tap into you, get the fuck off of social media. Like, get off of social media, babe. Hello? Get off of social media. So I'm just like, no, it sounds like you hiding something, sis. And so either way, I let it go because I'm like, that's his business. He want to be, secretive and shit. And so either way, time went on, and they're like, hey, I got pictures of these guys. And I was like, oh, I want to see them because some of these guys are hitting on me, and I don't do community trade. I don't do men, identify as a goddess. Since we're here having this discussion, I identify as a goddess. That's my pronouns. That's my gender. And I like men who like goddesses, So I like gods who like goddesses. And of course, servants who want to serve a goddess, Hello! And so either way, because we're talking, right? We're talking. And so I was curious to know, like, well, what man thinks he's going to sit down with a goddess and be sitting here with these peasant as flunkies that are in everybody's DMs trying to get nude pictures and shit, because that's not me. So who, are they talking to? So I'm like, I want to be a part of the group too, so I can see who y'all talking to. So they're like, okay, we gonna add you, sis. And so I'm in here, and I got so distracted of what I was even in there for. I was like, okay, never seen that one. Thank God. Let me make note of this. And then someone, I'm like, oh, I did see him. I'm like, oh, so he's into boys. That's why he never really looked over this way. When I entered the room, he would act like he couldn't acknowledge me because he's into the boys, or the boys who like to pay for it. I don't know. But long story short, I then share like one or two people, but I only share people that I knew was already selling content or was, other boys were in their DMs. And I only shared two of them, by the way. And then I stopped. Spirit was like, don't do that. Femme queens and butch queens, we could get along, we could be in the same energy, but Spirit revealed to me the whole dynamic of a lot of butch queens and femme queens being in competition with each other, and a lot of butch queens trying to deter trade or heterosexual men who are curious, because trade is actually men who are actually straight, but they get paid for sexual services to do gay things. So a trade would be a straight man who comes over and have an encounter with a gay person, LGBTQ, and then they would expect some type of pay in return. When that's done, that's done. And of course, we have changed the definition of trade from the 1800s, that was a European term, that we've changed it from that to a trade is just a straight guy who likes to play with the girls when he's in the mood. That's not true. If you don't got no money, you don't got no trade. A trade has to get paid for their services. So a broke LGBTQ person does not have a trade. You just have a closet case sissy. No shade. Hello, where's my bill at? Why the fuck is my bill at? Hold on. I need this bill. Girl, you can't have trade if you don't got no money. Hello. Where's my damn bill at? See, and I never used that term trade anyway. Never wanted to, never cared for it. But anyway, don't know where the bell is, girl. I probably hid it for myself. I don't know. But either way, so I knew that these people were like, trade, like they were gay for pay and stuff. I knew that. So I was like, okay, no, whatever. And then so I shared two of the guys, and I assumed he was down with the program because I could have sworn I seen something that looked like something. That's why I keep telling people that penises look the same. That's why I don't get hung over penis. I don't care how big you are. I don't care what you can offer. As far as the waist and below. I care about what you can offer above the waist, because I can work with anything. I'm a Gemini. I can adapt to small, big, skinny, fat. I can adapt to that, baby. But what I cannot adapt to is ignorance and stupidity and innocence and idiocracy. Hello! That's what I cannot work with, baby. I cannot adapt and change up on that. And so, I'm not willing to. I can, but I'm not willing to. And so, either way, I shared this with this boss, this 25-year-old manager, allegedly, and I don't believe it, but I'm like, hey, if you want to lie to them, you can lie to them, babe. What had happened was you are not in a manager position, but what they did was in another department that you're working in, they actually started firing people through somebody snitching on some people. And I'm not saying that he was snitching, and so they let these people go and they needed him from his normal department over there. So the first week over there, they started training him. Mind you, he didn't tell me none of this, but this is what Spirit showed me. Hello, that's the same bitch. Play with somebody else. Don't play with me. And so Spirit was showing me that he was being trained for his first week. That's why he had a certain schedule. And then after that, they wanted to see if he was a good fit for that department, which he is. And now he's there working a whole nother department. Now, but seriously, you level up in management, but your income has shifted to where you can't give the way you were giving, which some that you were switched departments. Not, it has nothing to do with you becoming a manager, because that means your income increases, not decreases. And so either way, I'm not going to get on that because, of course, I'm still kind of, cool with this person, even though I'm still looking sideways at their motherfucking ass because people are saying shit about me. They didn't defend me. But when people are saying shit about him, I defended him. So that's what I said before. I don't give a fuck about anything, girl. I'm not defending a fuck ass thing. I don't give a fuck you gay, trans, bi, black, white, Christian, Jew. If we look alike, even if I had a twin brother or twin sister, bitch, I'm not defending you, girl. No tea, no shade. Defend your motherfucking self. Read the Bible. Grab a Torah or something, honey. Hello. I'm not defending it no more. Like I said, your fight is not my fight no more. Once was, it's not. I got dragged, I got fucked up, I got disrespected, and that won't happen again. Because the next time somebody disrespect me for you, you're getting disrespected, and they are too. And that's how I'm moving out, 2026 and beyond. Somebody disrespect me for you, you're getting disrespected, and they are too. And that's how I'm moving out, y'all. To each one, teach one, reach one. I'm gonna show you how I want to be treated. And so either way, this motherfucker decided to send me a screenshot and say, is this the guy that you sent his pictures in the Discord? And so, of course, I click on it and I'm like, this is so weird because this guy is a heterosexual person. Like, he's so heterosexual that he's not homophobic or transphobic, but he is that, meaning that he's respectful to the community, but he's not about to sit here and parlay with you. He's not going to go out to eat with you. He's not going to sit down in your company. He's not going to be introducing you to his wife and his kids. And so for me, I'm like, I change, I make shifts. I establish dominion. I establish platforms and territory. And it's, of course, this is a very humble statement of me. So I've met people who was not into black people and changed their mind very quickly. I met men who were not into trans people and maybe they knew I was trans and they kind of said, wait a minute, woo, I'm a little curious now. And it's like, wait, what? And so that's how I move. That's the type of energy that Madam Merkaba moves with. Okay. The daughter of Oshun. That's how she moves. Okay. Hello? Because a lot of people want to talk about their gods and goddesses and their siblings of, and their disciples of, and their children's of, but you don't represent that. Because, baby, once they get a piece of this, they hooked on it. That's how I'm give it to everybody. I ain't, listen, as the daughter of Oshun, girl, I got to worry about no man fucking me and leaving me, girl, respectfully. That was never my story, and it never will be. Hello? Can we talk about it? Let's clarify that. And so either way, I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, how the fuck he get it? So, of course, I have to check him. And he's like, well, and I said, no, be honest. Like, are y'all talking? Or when he said, no, actually, somebody that I know is a woman. She was in his live. And at first, when he said woman, I was like, oh, he's trying to cut in on me. Because, bitch, I'm a woman, too. But see, now you want to really let it go down like that? Then you're a punk. You're a punk. You're not a man, you're a punk. Just like I'm a transgender, not a woman. Hello! See, don't cut in on me because I can cut in back. See, that's what I said. I'm a natural born reader, honey. And I can tell y'all, you want to test it? Call me. Call me now. Okay? Area code 817-993. You know the rest. Call me now. Okay, for your free reading. You want a free reading? Somebody asked it on today. Do you ever get free readings? Yes, I get free readings all the time. Give me an email, send me a call, and I'll read you now. Call me now. I'll read you, baby. Don't worry about it. I'll read you, girl. I'll give you a reading for life. I'll give you free readings for life. As long as you need a free reading, I can give it to you. Anyway, so he was like, yeah, she invited me to the live, and I saw this guy, and I said, wait a minute. This is a curly, oh my God. Yeah, this is her type, because I like guys with colored eyes. That's me, y'all. I love guys with colored eyes. My mama got colored eyes. My one of my nephews got colored eyes. I love colored eyed people. Hazel eyes, green eyes, blue eyes. I love that. And so I said, my husband's going to be colored eyed too. I don't care what, race or culture is, but he got to have colored eyes. He could be Indian with color, black with color, white with color, Asian with color. I don't care. They got to have colored eyes though, girl. Hello. And so anyway, girl, this motherfucker is gonna say, and now that I know, I'm gonna try to slide in his DM. So you know what I did? I looked back and I said, well, would he know that I sent that picture over? And I went back and I looked at the picture and I said, no, because it wasn't a good angle for one. For two, the profile that sent it, there's no picture on that profile. And then for three, I'm sure I'm not the only female that he sent it to, because he was asking me the second time we connected, who am I? And I need to recam up because he talks to a lot of people. This came out of his own mouth. So I'm like, he ain't gonna know if this motherfucker is trying to be a messy ass punk anyway, a messy ass butch queen anyway. He ain't gonna stir up shit anyway. But it made me think in this moment, like, girl, stop. Yeah, girl, there's no camaraderie Girl, we could be cool, butch queen and femme queen, but I am not sharing any information or anything about anything with anybody. I don't give a fuck if you, girl, if Jesus Christ didn't came down here himself and said, girl, what's the secret you hold? Let me tell me. I ain't sharing it. I'm sorry, I don't got it. Same thing with respectfully to my sisters, honey. These are people that I trust with my life, and I don't tell them stuff. I don't give them personal information. We had discussion about situations because I have another sister who's also of trans experience, and she's also had her fair and share with men of a particular status. And she slipped up and said somebody T, and I slipped up one time and said somebody's T too. After that, I won't say nobody's T. And I'm like, well, what would be the odds of her going to go tell somebody? That doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't share personal information about people with other people, especially when it comes down to like even NDAs or non NDAs. Like, girl, you're not gonna get me caught up in anything because if you said I said it, give me the exact same way I said it and also play the recording. You better have a recording of me saying it because, girl, yeah, I don't do that, honey. Not even my mama. And my mama met one of my celebrity people that I was engaged to. I was actually engaged to this man. Not even my mama. Okay, will speak about it, or do she know? Hello, can we talk about it? And so, like I said, that's how I get down. I'm very secretive. And also, he met my mama because he wanted to meet my mama. I didn't make him meet my mama. He came to get me, and he arrives in tinted cars and stuff back then, very lightly, politely. So people are like, oh, the mama got to be in everything too. No, I don't put my mama in everything, girl. I'm grown. Okay, hello. If you don't live in this household, girl, you don't have to be my business. And so he would come and get me. He would drive all the way from the Bay Area to come and visit me when he would, have his downtime. And he would drive all the way in his car with tinted windows, and he would come in multiple cars. My mom thought I was a hoe girl back then. I wasn't even a hoe back then. Hello. I was never a hoe, but hey, I played a hoe. Hello. And so my mom was like, who is this guy pulling up in this car? Who is this pulling in this car? Who's pulling this car? And one time the car pulled up. I said, okay, mom, I'll be back tonight. Cause he was like, we're gonna go have dinner on the beach. And I was like, okay, let's go do that. And that was the night that, we had our first experience together. Hello. But anyway, that's not your business. And so he pulls up and I'm just like talking to my mom. My mom is asking questions about different stuff, not even about this, because I didn't know he pulled up, girl. This car was so quiet, y'all. And so we lived in like a court, like a cul-de-sac. And he pulled up and I looked and I said, oh, he here. And before I know it, the car turns off and the door opens. And I'm like, oh my God. And he gets out and he comes up and he actually, hugs me. And he said, and who is this lady? Trying to be cute. Who's this young lady? And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, this is my mother. And he's like, oh my God, you look like her. And da, 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 da. And they're talking. And then he like gives her, a nickname. And then she's like, oh, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, what you going to be doing with my daughter? And da, da, da. And he's like, oh, nah, 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 nah. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't know what we're going to go do. Because, he was very adventurous, y'all. This motherfucker, when I lived in Stockton, he would like want to like do random shit, spontaneous shit. Like, let's go to Reno or let's go to Vegas or let's go to this. And of course, we didn't end up going that far. He tried to even like do LA and I was like, oh no, honey, that was like a 6 hour, 7 hour drive from Stockton. I was like, oh no. But honey, we would just do random shit like Bay Area, Sacramento. Sometimes we'll even just go to like local places like Modesto or Turlock and just do crazy shit. And I would think in this moment too, y'all, because this guy in particular, he was already like midway famous. I was thinking to myself, like, if people knew that this man was in this car with a tranny right now, I gotta say it like this, y'all, because I thought about it. If these people knew, first of all, that he was in the car with a tranny, but second of all, if these people knew who he was in this car right now in Modesto, California, or Turlock, California, or even Stockton, what would these people do? Like, what would be going on? Like, and I would replay that over and over in my mind. Like, this is crazy. Like, I felt like I was living in a movie, y'all. And like, even now, like, sitting back thinking about my life, I'm like, damn, time has flew by. But I look at my life, like, really, like 17 to now, I'm like, damn, girl, I've done some things, honey. I lived a very adventurous, like, life that people from Stockton, the 209 area of California, probably will never be able to experience. And even thinking about people who have passed on, because I always think about that, like my ancestors, right? Like my grandmama and her parents and stuff. And have they ever met their favorite celebrity? Have they ever like had an experience like that? Like I think about that from time to time, and so that's what keeps me grounded. That's what keeps me grateful. Like I'm thankful for all of my experiences, being a no-name person from Stockton, California, and even my little career as a model. Like I would think about that too. Like, girl, my goal was to be because we're talking. My plan was to be a male supermodel. And then towards the ending of it, I was like, I want to change people's perception of what energy is. And of course, I wanted to be the first, which of course there ain't no such thing as that, but the first androgynous model. Like I wanted to step in, I wanted to walk in. They're like, oh, who is this man or whatever, because I'm 5'10", I don't want them to be like, oh, all right. And then as soon as I take off that clothes, they just see the breasts, they see the ass, they see the thighs, and they're like, wait a minute, this a man or a woman? This one I thought that transgenderism was still secretive. Hello! It's not secret no more, girl, because these broke ass hoes want to make it everybody's business. I want to be visible. I want to be visible to get some dick. Respectfully, sis, is that what it is? Because they still taking us out. It doesn't matter about that. They're still taking us out. And you know why? Because people just cannot be themselves. People are bullied for being trans. People are bullied for not being trans. People are bullied for being trans attracted. People are bullied for not being trans attracted. Like it's a never ending thing. And of course, tomato. And that's why I keep telling people too, we get so sidetracked, and I'm done. I promise I was on something for like 15, 20 minutes. Is that we're so sidetracked with trans and gay and men and this and who's this and who's that. But we're forgetting about the shit that motherfucking matter. We're forgetting about our health, which is the most important, girl, because all of y'all out here fighting a battle while you're dying. Hello! And you're dying a slow death. You're dying a slow death. You out here battling with people and things instead of battling what you should be battling with, which is your motherfucking health. On top of that, you're not concerned about the man you sleep with or the woman you sleep with, but you're worried about the man and woman that you don't sleep with. Make that make sense? You're more concerned about a man living his life as, oh, I will never see these people as women. We don't need you to, babe. But at the same time, I will never fuck on your baby daddy because he's a pedophile. Hello! I would never mess with anything that messed with you because I know he ain't got no motherfucking intelligence. Hello? I know he ain't got no motherfucking brain cells left. And that's what it comes down to, sis, bruh, respectfully. And so for me, like I said, that's why I stay in my lane, I'm on my business. I am in my own energy. Respectfully and humbly, I even had to ask my therapist for the past 5 years, does that make me a narcissist? Right? Because I know I'm not a narcissist. I would believe that back in the day because I was just not really, I was into myself. Like I would put myself for other people when it comes to feelings. Like if you called me anything out my name and I felt some type of way, I would just leave the situation. And of course people say, well, that's a narcissist, or this bitch think he knows everything, or da 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 da. And it's like, I never said I knew everything. Never said I had a bachelor's or master's in science or I'm a medical engineer. I never say any of that. I always said where I get my knowledge from, and that's it. And so 5 years, that's what I've been asking and having dialogue on. And of course, my psychologist said, no, you're not a narcissist. A narcissist will never question if they're a narcissist. Narcissists will even sometimes acknowledge it. Like, I am a narcissist. Okay, bingo. But for me, going back into that, I feel different from these people. And I feel different from these people because, of course, I should be different. I'm unique. I'm my own person. I'm my own energy. And because I'm brown like you or I'm trans like you, we're not the same. We're different. We have different perceptions in reality. And unfortunately, in society, we're trained to be beehive minded. We're trained to be programmed to think like each other. All black people must act like this. All gay people must act like this. And you have somebody like me who defies reality, who defies those programs. Now we're the weird ones. Now we're the narcissists. And there's people that will openly admit to being narcissist and look and compare the energy. It takes to be at the top in this country, in this world, in this climate right now, you have to be a narcissist. So look at who's at the top right now. Look who has everything and compare them to People like me who people did a whole series on me. There was some buckwheat ass bitch that did a whole series on me, honey. Buckwheat ass, fucked up ass girl. Listen, I'm not even gonna get into that because just talking about the bitch, I'm smelling ammonia and cat shit. Just think about I'm smelling ammonia and cat shit right now. Just thinking about that person. But she did a whole series on me called The Narcissist. And I was like, ooh, girl, peasant calling me a narcissist. Love it, honey. A bitch that been in and out of motherfucking prison. Hello? Can we talk about it? Narcissists usually have criminal records. Narcissists usually have criminal records that have had the police called out on them. We done background checks on previous name and current name, girl. There's no issues, girl, there. Hello? I actually respect authority. I actually respect power. I understand because even the Bible speaks about how people have authority over certain things like the law of the land. The law of the land, there's definitely people that have authority over it. And then there's someone or people that have the authority over the law of the spirit or the spirit realm. And so, baby, when it comes to that, when it comes to the spirit realm, girl, you don't have authority over that. Hello? Can we talk about it? And so, pushing forward and finalizing this, I don't feel the same. I've learned to be okay with that. I see other people and I said, you're not a tranny because I won't ever do that. And I learned to stop doing that. It's like, well, I don't identify as a trans neither. That's the program that people put on us. I exalt divine feminine energy, and that's it. I exalt divine feminine energy. I'm not here to fight over man, woman, boy, girl, or any of that. The ancients didn't do it, and I'm not doing it. And so that's how I see and that's how I move. Like, baby, men are gonna do what men do. And if you feel like because you are trans, because you sometimes identified as a woman, but yet you still do manly things, then girl, you are trans. That's that. My pronouns is not, I don't care to have she and her and all that. It's goddess. I identify as a goddess, not a woman or a man. I identify as a goddess. Hello? I identify as a goddess, and it has been consistent since 2000 motherfucking seven. But for humility and for being a humble person, I've came on platforms and I call myself simple shit like ancient Egyptian magic, Madame Merkaba, Mystic Persia, Fallon Ferrari, Marina Exclusive. I call myself basic shit for so it could be that girl. This girl's just like you and I. But baby, like I said, on my own, privately, when it's not in this type of setting, bitch, I'm motherfucking goddess. I am a motherfucking goddess. And in most cases, I am the motherfucking goddess because I'm the only motherfucker that a bitch or a motherfucker will bow down to. Respectfully. And I'm not telling that to y'all. I'm saying that, as a femdom. Okay? Hello. That's my background. The femdomness is what got me out of poverty. The femdomness is what got me into being who I am and built my confidence up. Can we talk about it? And it wasn't men who was dicking me down. And see, people get that twisted too. We're not going to say as a prostitute or sex worker that I was a goddess because a goddess don't give up her goods to everybody. A queen does. And that's the difference. A lot of people are queens and queens are whores. Respectfully, queens are whores. They're the concubines and they're meant to be used and abused. That's why even when you look at the monarchy now over there in London, look at how these queens still be looking. Yeah, they're pleasant. Yes, they present, as this eloquent, posh energy. But what do you think be going on behind the scenes? Even going into the ancient terms and stuff, times, what do you think was going on back then? When you had royalty going into courts and stuff, y'all, 1800s, 1700s, when they were having royal parties and shit, you think the royal parties are them just showing up and, hi, darling, you want a cup of tea? Girl, they were out here having fuck fests and suck fests and, girl, animals. Girl, hello. Don't get me started. Okay? And so for me, like I said, respectfully, I am sexual because I'm feminine. But like I said, I am not a queen. I'm a goddess. Okay. And I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to step into a room and want you to bow down. So I'm showing off my ass and my titties and my legs. Or I'm letting you know, like, hey, this is me. Watch it. No. I walk in very humble. And you know the energy because you want to talk to me. I have my headphones on. I'm minding my business. I'm not saying shit to you. And you're saying, hello, excuse me. Yeah, you can ask them those questions. Why are you asking me? You can ask him, her, them, they, their, all them. Non-binary, Zer, Zika, blah, blah. You can ask all of those questions, honey. The Jewish guy right here. Why are you asking me? You know why? Because you feel that goddess frequency. That's what it is. You feel that goddess frequency, baby. I'm gotta tell you, you know what it is. Hello? Something about y'all just alike. Oh, you just make me feel so good. I wonder why. I wonder why, honey. Because I'm a goddess and I own it. I'm confident in my feminine energy, and you will never dim it. You will never take it away. And no man has that power. No dick, no money, no affection will make me feel any type of way about myself, and that's what a goddess is. Maybe I'll do a little goddess intervention discussion, honey, to tell you exactly what the fuck a goddess is. Because all you think a goddess is just because you're female, honey. If everybody done had that, you are not a goddess. Hello. If everybody done had it, if you fall for it too quick, if he can tell you. If he tell you that you look good and your panties get wet because he tell you look good, you are not a goddess, baby. You might be a queen, but you're not a goddess. I'm sorry, y'all. I just cracking myself up. I'm sorry. And you know when I be sitting there talking to y'all, girl, I just be thinking like, like what is people thinking what I'm saying? What I'm saying right now? Are they feeling? Are they like, girl, get the fuck off this live, girl, end it. And that'd be another thing too. I wanna ask a question. Do y'all fuck with me? I want to post this. I know a lot of y'all. I mean, I know some of y'all do because y'all, you show you come in, you support, you let me know. I get emails from y'all. I get private messages from y'all, text messages. You have my number and stuff. So I definitely know. But I really want to do a poll on what percentage, because baby, if there's 500 people here and I only get like 10 people saying that they fuck with me, girl, then we gonna move like 10 people fuck with me. Hello! And that's what I'm gonna be doing. We're gonna move like 10 people fuck with me. Cause see, I was looking at some bitch yesterday, y'all, and I had to get the fuck off of YouTube. I threw my damn tablet. I threw it because I said, the world is not fair. The world is not fair. It's not fair. Anyway, I really want doing that, y'all. I don't give a fuck, girl. Most of my clients come from in person. I told y'all this before. I do work in person. I was even gonna kind of cross to where people that are online could come in person to get work done. I have, a space set up for you, or you can get your own room, whatever. However, I was gonna work something out, but I decided to change my mind because let's say, girl, online people, y'all get fidgety. And I would lock a bitch up. Hello, I would have a bitch lock the fuck up. Yes, I would, honey. Hello, I press charges. And so anyway, um, I'm sitting here watching his YouTube, and the girl didn't even spell tarot right. And so I said, well, this is legal purposes because she's gonna say to art. She's gonna say, no, it's not tarot, it's to art because technically tarot was designed by Italians, if you do not know. The Italians designed tarot, and tarot is actually art. It's artistic, right? It is. It's an art form. It's decoration. That's why even going into a documentary that they had in the 90s where they were talking about what tarot was, and the guy, I guess, was a top tarot reader, and he said, yeah, I don't know the definition of tarot, but I can tell you in the imagery what it means in this situation. Of course, he's gifted. When you're gifted, you don't need instruction on how to read tarot. You don't even need instruction how to read playing cards. You just pull the cards up, you see the card, and you're able to tap into what this card means to this person. I've done readings on people where they kept getting, let's say, Two of Hearts, which is a love card, a contract, fidelity, two people coming into one, a marriage, a union coming, right? But I felt like this card in this situation relate to them wanting this type of energy, but the other person don't want it. And of course, this had nothing to do with the question, but of course it came up, I addressed it, and it was an accurate situation. But they're like, yeah, I've dated this man for 15 years, and we're not married. And I'm like, oh, girl, more power to you, girl, because you got 18 to 24 months for me. Life is too short. You got 18 to 24 months. When I do find that significant other, 18 to 24 months of us playing house is okay. After that, girl, we need to make the next step. Domestic partnership or actually getting married. If you don't want to do neither, girl, kick rocks and go have fun with your Sandras, your Ericas, whatever the hell you got going on. Even your Deontay's, if that's what you're into, girl. No shade. I'm not judging. No, you like penis over vagina, girl. That's your business. Hello. That's your tea. Okay? And so... She's sitting here playing, y'all. See, I get a little, see, that's how the videos turn into like 2 or 3 hours, girl. Where's my fucking bell? I need to hire somebody to be like a timer, like a time, what they call those people, time assessors, where they time you and shit. Hey, it's 15 minutes. Get off, and just train me to just be in the moment and shut the fuck up sometimes. And I love talking, y'all. So don't ever tell me shut the fuck up, because then I'm gonna read you down and I'm gonna keep talking. I might even start talking about your mama. I might start talking about your daddy, something that's gonna piss you off. Don't ever tell me to shut up, baby. Anybody knows me knows that. Don't tell me to shut up, and don't try to micromanage me. I don't do well with that. And so anyway, this lady had, y'all, she had bluefish, red ball, blue ball, soccer ball, umbrella, cat, dog, sheep, goat. What those cards are called when they're in elementary and stuff, y'all, for the children, you teach them shapes and colors and how to spell. This bitch was giving a fucking tarot reading with these fucking cards. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And she said, yeah, honey. And she's pulling, I'm gonna just give y'all an example. She pulls a fish. Oh, they're fishing for something. Yeah, and it seemed quite fishy because they were telling you another story about another woman and you didn't believe it. And then she pulled a ball. It was like a beach ball. And oh, honey, the ball has went too far now. He trying to kick the ball out of the court and he's trying to say that you're not in position to give him that definition. And then she pulled a baseball cap, which was a hat, and she said, oh, and he's lying. He's capping. He capping. And she's sitting here shuffling. And I'm just like, is this what has happened to the spiritual community? The spiritual community? How do we say a community out there in Maryland? Community? Is this what happened to the spiritual community? Is this what happened to the spiritual community? We don't went from tarot cards. No. Take that back. We don't went from tapping in the spirit and let spirit give us direction to reading stones and dunes and bones to reading playing cards. From playing cards to fucking tarot. And now we're reading fucking Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat, blue fish, yellow fish, red cap, blue ball, bitch. Oh, girl, what? And I was waiting for somebody in the comment section, because you know it wasn't going to happen. You know what's going to happen, girl. Because you know what's going to happen. But I was waiting for somebody in the comment section to say, yes, honey, you're right on. Because I was about to definitely tag in that thing and say, girl, go see a mental health professional. Yes, spirit is always there, but girl, listen, if you can do a reading with baseball cards, or you could do readings with 1, 2, 3 bish, what they call those cards? What they call those fucking cards? Hold on. Let me hold on. Let's get this correct. Because if you could do readings with those type of cards, girl, you don't need those cards to do a reading. You could just sit here and say, who? Spirit is, and then she over acting like she really reading tarot, y'all. She over here saying, I don't know if this is a situation where he deceived you and I said, I was just like, who the fuck is she talking to? And of course she wouldn't talk to nobody because there's nobody in there talking back to her. So she was just pulling cards, just having discussions, just talking. She was kind of giving me that she wasn't too, she wasn't wrapped too tight. But the crazy thing about it is that she had a lot of viewers in there watching. I think it said there was like 200 and something odd people in there watching. And, the comments were just like, I love this. I would love to have a reading one day. And I was like, are these robots? Like, I've been thinking sometimes, do these be robots that YouTube be having up in here? Because it's like, who's actually typing like that? I would love to have a reading from you one day. Like I said, if she can read with those type of cards, she don't need those cards to give you a reading. She can just sit here and she could just read you. There's 1,000,001 ways to give readings. You have flame, you have smoke, you have leaves, you have coffee, you have fruit, you have bones, which is still, all that's still a form of that. You have playing cards, you have tarot cards, you have different types of tarot cards, you have oracle cards. Like, there's so many ways. So it's like, I guess mama's like, let me become different so that I can get out there. But if you're really tapped in, where's the people being helped? Like, I would never do anything. And I'm telling y'all this right now. This is the contract that I made with my spirits. This is the contract. And before this ever happened, I will completely stop doing spiritual work for people. And we're going to say on the internet because it's not going to stop in person. Hello. I'm spiritual, so that's just that. But online, if I ever had to come online to perform skits or to do things just to get people to want to get traction over here, to get people to want to have to subscribe and pay for my services, at this point, I don't want your money. At this point, I don't want your money. I think that with my videos, with me not even being on camera, I think the discussions that I have, I think are very telling. I think it gives you insight on abilities. I've done readings even with some of you all, and of course, maybe that's the thing too. Maybe I need to start doing, feedback where I said I was going to come on Tuesday, a certain day, and say, "Hey, y'all, come forward and you talk about your experience with me. You talk about your readings, your casework, your experience with people, so people know that, girl, we're not just over here collecting coin." Because what it gives is that a bitch don't really know what the fuck she's doing. And not saying that people believe this, because people have hit me up because other people are talking shit about me. And they're like, hey, hi, hey. But it be giving that a bitch just be out here probably paying people to come and get work done with her. That's what it be giving from outside looking in. And like I said, with me, honey, this is why I pay attention to my online and I come on, my in person and I come online, when I'm able to. Because one thing about in person, like I said, people, they know. Like in person, I feel like people know. I think online people know too, but I think that there's so much distraction here. There's so much influences here that people don't know authentic from fake, right? They don't know people who are real or people who are fake. And so they'll look at someone like me who don't care to have the aesthetics, who don't care to come on with chicken feet around my neck. They don't care to come on with face paint on. They don't care to come on with a dashiki or a concha shells on my ear to talk about spirit. They'll be like, oh yeah, she's not real. This person ain't real. They're fake. They're just talking. They're not real. Do they even do spiritual work? No, they're just talking. While the bitch who has all this but ain't got no motherfucking teeth in her mouth, don't got nothing to show you that she manifests. Because I keep telling y'all, and I will always say this. You want to know if I'm manifesting? Reach out to me. When you do your consultations and your collaborations and all that stuff, because that's how I know you're real, and you're like, Mystic, I want to know what have appointed you to give people advice on love, who is giving to give people life advice on money, on health. I can show you all that. I can show you all of my files. I have my stuff filed up and documented, and some of it is even notarized and put away. Hello? In deposit boxes and storage units. Hello? Can we talk about it? In storage units. Hello? I say storage units. Anyway, storage units. Hello? Yes. So if you ever, it's like, hey, I want to get work done with you, but I want to have proof that you know what you know. Send over that collaboration money. Send over that consultation money and let's talk. I'm always, when it comes down to people being real and authentic and all that, I always say, I stand on what I stand on. I'm not somebody that cap for likes and views. I don't give a fuck about you liking me or you, oh, hey, yeah, I'm only willing to, if she can prove, I don't care about that. I'm going to show you because shut people down when people like try to say shit and make false accusations and shit like, a lot of those basic assholes were doing back in the day. But I don't care to impress people. And that's a lot of people issues. You cannot have your spirit living authentically while the ego is leading it. The ego has to be dead. The ego has to be tamed. The ego has to be put to the side. And so this whole back and forth bickering about who's this and who's that, that's ego. Because at the end of the day, girl, when you're 6 feet under the ground, Marie Laveau, I mean, she's only discussed in the spiritual community and let people tell it we're mentally ill. She's not discussed in everyday life. And when you do bring up Marie Laveau to regular people or people who are not into the spiritual stuff, they'll say, was she the famous baker? Was she the one where they were making medicine for her and they were putting it in chocolate? And it's like, no, that's Antoinette. Right? What is her name? Marie Antoinette? What's that girl name? Yeah, Antoinette Marie Antoinette. Anyway, I'm like, no, that's her. But they'll think it's the same thing. So it's like, babe, at the end of the day, what do you think you're going to be doing? Our intention should be to help the people. Our intention should be to level the people up. But we look back and we see and we say, but how far have the people come? I keep telling y'all this. And I'm going to be done. The Claude Andersons and the other black leaders who have no spiritual power and no connection to spirit at all because they're led by the flesh and not by the spirit. They don't sit back and meditate and allow the Holy Spirit to speak to them. They do things out of anger, out of trauma. And so they create a trauma bond with other people that are also in the same state of trauma and drama as they are. But a lot of these people, the Indians, the Asians, the Chinese, the Cambodian, remember these people were brought over here as refugees. Remember these people were brought over here as refugees. Remember that, right? And so you even have the Middle Easterns in this land, and people say, well, what type of contract did the Middle Easterns have with the white people? Blah, blah, blah. This is called spiritual protection. This is called, these people devoted themselves to their spirits. These people actually learned who their true spirits were. And they actually started utilizing that. They started having a fellowship with people who are also on their level. Yes, you have some, and I keep telling people this. Can you show me one person, and I'm willing to, can you show me a homeless Indian person in America? Can you show me and we're not talking about somebody who's like American washed. Can you show me an Asian person who's homeless in America that's actually into their culture? Can you show me that? These people have spiritual favor. These people have places, temples set up that are actually sacred spaces. See, for black folks and white folks, we turned our temples or our synagogues and our churches into playgrounds. We've turned our holy places into playgrounds. While the pastors are up there preaching about the word of God, they're out here paying for hoes, prostitutes, and homosexuals behind the scenes. Look at the stories that's been publicized, and some of these pastors have actually went to jail. They got locked up, and they're serving time. Hello, but when you go to these mosques and these synagogues, or these mosques and these temples, they actually have like the elders there in the back that's keeping these grounds safe and sacred. And even going into like Asian, like people, even people who are like into black magic would tell you there's only one type of magi that scares them. And if you know, you know, I'm not going to say who it is or what it is, but if you know, you know, there's only one type of magi. And the only way this magi helps you is if your heart is pure. So their pure heart have the ability to even put somebody who works with demons to fear. And that's all I'm going to say. And of course, if you knew these people and you knew the title of these magi, these magic mystical people, if you type them in online and say blank, blank near me, there's very few of them all around America. But this is where these people go. This is where these people go to get their protection. When there's an injustice, I remember that Asian parlor over there in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, come on here. So y'all not ready for this type of teaching. Remember that parlor happened? Remember that massage parlor happened and that white man went over there to that Asian parlor and he did those things to those Asian women? And remember how several months later, the White House put some type of protection over them where it's like anti-Asian hate or something, to where if you did anything to go against that, you would be fined and or imprisoned. And black people are like, but why? But they're giving the Asians more right than us. No, because you have no spiritual power. Y'all out here putting curses and spells on bitches because she fucked your man. Y'all out here putting hexes and shit on hoes because they don't fuck with y'all. Y'all out there calling CPS, putting curse on people's children and shit. The Asians ain't doing shit like that, girl. The Asians are shutting down bloodlines. The Asians are, hello, because I date Asians. I be around them. Magical perspective or not, they shut down empires. They don't give a fuck about the common situation of, girl, you're messy as fuck and I got to get you together. They go to your mamas to where they set back the hands of time to where now everybody after you will have a fucked up sour ass ground. And that's what they do. See, you basic ass kindergarten ass witches, y'all playing the kindergarten quarter. Y'all playing this basic shit. And this is why, respectfully, black people don't get the respect and accountability, the entitlement that they deserve in this country. And respectfully, this is why. Because first of all, you don't know your real identity. You're out here claiming Africa when that's not Africans don't even claim Africa. Hello? They say they're black. Hello? And they'll say they're African just like you'll say you're American, but they don't say it as a form of being a race. That's why they got white South Africans. Hello? I digress. And so either way, you don't know. You're not seeking spirit. You're seeking the energy they gave you to shut down what it is that you need to get to. And like I said, instead, you actually going and revamping the churches and saying that is this the Israel God or is this the God that fucked with Nimrod? Hello? So y'all don't ask these questions. That's why the answers don't come to you. It said, asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find. You don't ask God. You don't ask the Holy Spirit. You don't ask energy for the answers. You just assume. Well, my mama, my grandmama, she did this too. Okay, but what did grandma have? What did Mima have? Respectfully, what did she have that you can get in 2026? Like, let's take it back to how it was pre-colonial, pre-colonization, pre. Let's take it back to the beginning of time. People kept scaring us. Hey, y'all, we're going to be without electricity. We're going to be primitive again. Who's scared? Who's afraid of that? Who's afraid of that? Baby, who's afraid of that? Who's really afraid? Like, who's afraid of that? Not what's afraid of that. Who's afraid of that? I mean, you're asking who. That means that person has an identity. So, who is afraid of that? What is a whole nother question. So, with that being said, like I said, this is why these committees get what they get. They get what they get, and they're moving the way they move. Everybody else is being left behind, and you think it's because of some type of agenda. It's not. It's not. It's called equilibrium, and that's it. I'm gonna leave that there, honey. Let me go, you all. I've been talking my head off for about a good hour and 11 minutes, and it's time for me to start to get a little warm right now. Starting to get a little warm, honey. Let me turn this fan on. Hold on. I got this remote control, y'all. I got two different ones. I got a Holmes fan and a Lasco fan. And my Holmes fan works on my Lasco fan, but my Lasco fan remote don't work on my Holmes fan. And I think that's kind of odd. And I didn't know it because I went to go grab the remote and I turned the fan on. I'm like, wait a minute. This is not the right remote. And it's working everything on this fucking thing. And I'm like, that's kind of odd. So, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Maybe everybody else's thing is doing that too. I don't think it's spiritual. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I just think that's odd that this is working on it, but that one ain't working on that one. But anyway, let me see if there's any comments in here before I go. Hey, lovely. Hey, CJ. Who's Trade? Yes, Trade. Hello. Deb is in. Your Trade? I know that's right. Okay, you Trade. Is dry kelp similar to tasting like seaweed? Yes. It has a more, well, I guess it depends on how you get your kelp. I got freshwater Pacific kelp. And yes, it has a very water taste to it. I told you I take my sea moss. I've been taking sea moss for 2 weeks now in the pill form. I am going to make the gel, and I just found my extractive form, so I will be taking the extraction of that. And I'm also doing the kelp now, where I'm sprinkling it over my salad and stuff. And I just started that yesterday. And so it's really good for you. Look up the benefits of it. You can even soak the seaweeds, just like the sea moss, in water. Make your gel. You can rub it on your face. You can put it on your hair. Use it as a hair mask. And it will actually have the same benefits as consuming it. And the same thing with the kelp. You can put the kelp in the water, soak it in the water, and the water becomes nutrients dense. And you can like rinse your hair off with it. You can wash your face with it. You can wash your body with it. And it's going to have really, 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 really good benefits, honey. Yes, honey. Shout out to my people out there. Shout out to my water babies, my water people, honey. Who's on, honey? Yes, honey. Hello. And if you are a daughter or son of Yemaya and you don't know anything about sea moss or kelp, or you don't put that in your diet, shame on you. If you are a daughter or son of Yemaya, and we're not saying fish, because I notice a lot of, I guess it's the same thing with me. Like a lot of things that Oshun is over, I cannot consume. Like duck. Duck fucks me up. I cannot have duck. So I think it's the same thing, that I think some of the things as the child of Yemaya, Shrimp maybe, but fish, you don't really do fish, or you can't handle fish, or you're allergic to fish. And I think that's just how spirit works. But definitely going into seaweed and kelp and stuff, if you don't have any allergic allergies to that, which I mean allergens, I don't know if people are allergic to that. That would be interesting if you are. Um, get into your seaweed, your cap, your kombu, your wakame. WAKAME. And then your kombu, your seaweed, your roasted seaweed. I'm making me a chicken bites rolled in seaweed. I went to Costco. They had these seaweed packages. I think it was like $10. And I said I'm gonna make like chicken bites with it. Roll the chicken in it and like eat it. Woo! Come on in here. Ow! I feel it. I feel it. Ow! Ow! Yes, honey. Ow! Ooh, girl, come on in here. Girl, my mama made me some collard greens with vinegar and brown sugar and honey. When I say I was cleared out, I know that's right, honey. Vinegar clears you out. But see, I don't. But wait a minute. Can I ask you something, CJ? Why do people put sugar in their greens? That just take away from me. Like I want to like greens don't taste nasty. Like you know what I mean? Like especially collards. Like I want to eat these foods because they have nutrients in them. And I want to absorb all like tea. I don't put honey or sugar in my tea. I like tea straight up, water in the tea. I don't care for sweet tea. I don't care for it. Because I want the benefits of the tea, right? And not saying the sugar take away from it, but it's like, but now, tea by itself doesn't raise sugar levels, but now the honey and the sugar is going to raise your insulin. So if your body is high in insulin, your body becomes kind of inflamed and it doesn't allow your body to process and or fully absorb the nutrients in that. Same thing with food. That's why they got to put sugar or salt in everything, sodium. They put a lot of sodium and a lot of sugar in foods because your body, they're telling you, hey, eat this, eat this, eat this. But your body becomes responsive to the sugar or the sodium. And of course, you're not able to absorb the nutrients of that food because your body is trying to fight off the inflammation, which of course turns into hypertension, as well as diabetes and all this other stuff, pancreatitis and all that, and cancers and stuff too. It's really scary. But I was wondering that why people put sugar and shit in their greens. I like greens raw. Sometimes I put sausage in it. Like I'll take a sausage, brown it up in the pan, put a little bit of oil in it, and then I'll dump that into the slow cooker. Then I'll put the collard greens and the kale in there and let it slow cook for a couple of hours. And then of course I'll drink the juice because once you cook the greens, there's no more nutrition. I think the nutrition drops down to like 30%, and the nutrition is now in that water. So I drink the water. I used to also like rinse my hair off with the water. I would do a face wash with the water. Like, oh girl, it was so amazing, honey. And then I found out Pacifica, which is a skincare line, actually have a green skincare line called, I think it was like Sea Wash or something. And it had like kelp and collard greens and kale in there. And that would clear your face off, baby. You had makeup on, that would wipe it clean. And so I'm just so thankful for nature, girl. That's all I want to say. I'm just so thankful for nature and the scientists out there and the herbalists out there and God, for introducing us to that kingdom and for those who kept the ways of the ancestors and our connection with this kingdom because they are their own kingdom and that kingdom is powerful. I would let somebody do a video on plant kingdoms and shit. Wouldn't that be amazing, y'all? Like a movie, like the herbs fighting with the flowering plants or something. Oh my God, girl! They're not gonna do it though because of course that's gonna ignite something in us. They know what they're doing. Okay. It was honestly a seaweed diet myself. It's very healthy, but it's expensive for premium seaweed. You said it, and you know what I always tell people this too. CJ, I was telling people this. I was gonna say kombu. I'm sorry. What I always tell people is that medicine is high. Someone I know is on high blood pressure medicine. They said if their insurance didn't cover 80% of that, they'll be paying $500 a month for that medicine. So in my mind, I think about it for water too. I drink vapor distilled water, and I also drink a premium spring water. And for one of the bottles, for 1 liter, is $5. For the vapor distilled, it's $3.42 for a liter. And so either way, I'm like, vapor distilled water is clean though. It's really good for you. It has no bacteria or anything, and it's free of all that. So I'm like, I'd rather pay good money on preventative care than pay for medicine. Can we talk about it right now, CJ? Hello. Can we talk about it right now, honey? Let mama give you some enlightenment. I would rather pay $500 for some seaweed than $500 for some Atenol. Oh, come on in here. See, you're not, woo, come on in here, CJ. See, ow. See, you know what I mean? Ow. You're not ready for that type of teaching. I'd rather pay for quality and not quantity. Yes, you can go get you some spring water at Walmart, a case of 40 for $5, some Crystal Geyser. But is Crystal Geyser clear? Is it clean? Hello. Is it processed right? You know what I mean? But you go and you go get you some Waikiki water or some essential water, which by the way, somebody said essential water and real water. Girl, bye. Or you go get this water, I'm telling you, from Sedona. Sedona has a water that I drink. I drink the water called Cascades from Mount Shasta. Vapor distilled water, Smart Water, and there's another company right now, Saratoga. These waters right here, like I said, they're a little expensive, but it's like, I would rather pay for what is real than to pay cheap for what is fake and I'm not getting a benefit from it. We are biologic, which is organic in Spanish. Biologic is, or bioloque, hello, we can get into it. Biologic, okay, we are organic, okay, we are biological beings, right? We come from the earth and we shall return to the earth. And we're talking about the physical flesh. Hello? I need somebody to bear with me right now. And so, baby, in order for us to get what we need, we have to eat what is in connection with us, which is organic, which is natural, which is real. When something is fake, it's processed, it's inauthentic, your body doesn't benefit from it. So your body starts to break down. Places like McDonald's, Wendy's, and Taco Bell and all those other places, they have some real ingredients in their food, but most of the food is fake or is chemically added, which alters your chemistry of your body, which breaks down the biologic or the organic parts within it, which cause you to become sick. So I need you to understand that I'm willing to pay for premium seagrass, seaweed. I'm willing to go to Whole Foods and pay $7. Somebody said that, oh, Whole Foods is a little expensive for me. Okay, but how healthy are you? How healthy have you been eating cheap food? Hello? See, one thing I learned from wealthy people is that they go to the cheap stores to buy food, but they buy certain products. They buy certain products. When you go to places like Whole Foods, and there's another place over here that's a very high-end store, 1 gallon of water costs $20. No shade, I'm never going to pay that. And maybe I'll get on video and show y'all this store and the inside of the store. Girl, a gallon of water was like 18 something. And I'm like, these people eat like that because, of course, they understand that health is wealth. And they understand that you have to eat good to be good. See, the dollar menu shit and all this other stuff, yeah, it's cheap, baby, and you can afford that. But in reality, it's not healing you. So it's a cycle, okay? And so, yes, honey, seaweed, I'm not on a seaweed diet. I am just incorporating seaweed into my diet. I eat a lot of, cabbage. I've been trying to drink tea, 3 cups of tea a day. That don't really work for me. I think I did like 2 weeks and I stopped. I'm like, girl, because I don't crave it like that. You know what I mean? I do what I crave. I don't crave tea like that. I would love to do it, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe this week I'll get back on it. I don't know. But, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. You know what I mean, honey. Seaweed diet, I'm like, yeah, I just incorporated it. Got a lot of minerals and stuff in it. Sea moss and all that, yeah. Just the minerals. The guy was saying the same thing too. He was like, hey, I don't think you could find some St. Lucian, because that's the real good sea moss is from St. Lucia. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, it's going to be expensive for you. Oh, that's what I manifest. Oh, come on in here. Hallelujah. Come on in here. Come on in here. I told you I was going to come to me, y'all. This is the day. Ow! It's coming to me. So I called this place, this health food store, and they're kind of expensive. They got, natural tinctures and tonics and stuff. And I said, hello, how are you? And he's like, I'm good, how are y'all? And I said, right. I was like, I want to ask you something. Do you guys have sea moss? And he's like, yeah, let me double check. So he looks and he's like, we do have it. It ranges from $9 to $35. And I said, oh, really? And I said, yeah, because I'm looking for real sea moss because I don't trust Amazon's, sea moss or whatever. And he's all like, yeah, I'm just going to be honest with you. The real sea moss is going to cost you an arm and a leg. And I said, oh, really? I was like, because I got 2 arms and 2 legs. And he's like, I'm laughing, too. But I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, well, thank you so much. I guess I'm just going to figure somewhere else out. So I was like, maybe I need to look up a merchant in St. Lucia or something that can actually ship me authentic St. Lucian or St. Lucian sea moss. Or, bitch, I'll go take a trip out there my damn self. That's what I was thinking for a minute. I was like, let me see how much a flight costs to go out there. Maybe I'll just go for my birthday or something. Treat myself. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm sitting in my room, like Brandy said, and something said, get your ass in that car and go to this store. And I said, but I don't really feel like going to the store. But some kept saying, go, 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 go. So I said, you know what? I got to go over there. Well, let me make my way over there. I get in my car. I go, run a couple of errands. I go into the place. And I'm like, what am I looking for? And then I said, oh, let me look for sea moss capsules. Because, if they don't got the real shit, I'm just going to take it. So they did have a company called Akasha that has sea moss with shell powder, like pearl powder. Like they take the pearl and they make it into powder form. So they mix it up and, it's supposed to be like really good for you and stuff too, like calcium and all that. Because I remember I had a calcium supplement from Vitamin Shop that's made from oyster shells, which I need to start taking that again still. But anyway, so y'all, I go to this, I'm looking at Akasha, and I'm like, okay, she wants $59 for this, and how many, servants in this at like 32. So I was like, okay, I could do $60. This is health over wealth, you know what I mean? And I look down on the bottom shelf, because, I'm a bottom of the barrel type of bitch. Ow, I'm the cream of the crop. I'm the bottom of the cream crop. What did I say? Bottom of the barrel type of bitch? Yeah, I'm a bottom of the barrel type. I'm a transgender woman, so I'm on the bottom of the barrel. But, everything at the bottom tastes better. By the way, just point that out. Anyway, so I look down, and I see a purple bag with purple sea moss in it. And it says, hold on, let me go get one of these bags. Hold on. Get one of these bags. Hold on right here. It's right on top of my microwave. It says, Wild Harvest St. Lucia Purple Sea Moss is rich in antioxidants, nutrition-dense superfood, and high in iodine. And so, of course, you got to clean it. This bag is about 1.4 ounces of it. But this is enough to make probably about a good, 16 to 32 ounces of gel, which is a lot because, usually 1 spoonful of it. And it gives you your benefits. And so this was normally $32. And, of course, I have to ask the person, because I looked up the company, too, and it's real. So it's authentic. So I was like, I don't know why this guy was trying to tell me all this shit. I don't know if he was trying to deter me from going to go get it, or maybe it was another store, because it's the same company, but maybe they don't have the same jurisdiction. But Mousse de Mer, that's how you say sea moss. Mousse de Mer. Yes, honey, sea moss is mousse de Mer. Anyway, so this was $32.99. The lady said this was originally $56, but nobody was buying it, so they dropped it down. And I said, well, I wonder why they're not buying it. And no Chino shit to anybody out there, because these are white and Middle Eastern folks, and they don't need sea moss because they're people of the desert and of the mountains, respectfully. And so I was like, oh, so they don't need this shit. And so either way, it went down, y'all, from $32.99 to $9.99. And it said clearance. So what my motherfucking pink pussy having ass did, respectfully, I bought all of them. First I was going to say, I'll get one. I said, no, bitch, fuck that. Get them all. It was 5 of them. So I got all of them All of them. I bought them all. I bought them all, honey. And I said, I don't have to go to I don't have to go to St. Lucia. You know what I mean? I go right here to the store with all these people. Because, hello? Same thing with these BMAs and waters. I told you, I go to the, semi-hood. I don't give a fuck about that healthy shit. And that be the secret, y'all. And I need to not tell y'all my secrets. But, girl, these folks ain't drinking no damn purple sea moss. They not eating that shit. They eating wheatgrass and shit. The wheatgrass is always gone. I go in there and give it some wheatgrass. I got to get the wheatgrass extraction because those hoes be buying it up. They be walking up in there 92 years old looking like they fucking 52 years old. Like, what you doing all that sea moss? I make a drink with it. Can I have one? Oh, no, baby. This ain't even enough for me. I got to come back. Well, good for you, bitch. Can I have one? You got like 30 of them in your cart. So anyway, y'all, I got it. And see, that's manifesting right there. That's manifestation. That's manifestation, honey. That's manifesto. Come on in here. It went from 52 to 32 to $9.99. And you goddamn right, I bought all 5 of them, girl. Yeah, goddamn right. I got the sea moss gel. I got the sea moss. Hold on, let me see what this one is. No, that's hold on, let me see. Where's it at? Oh shit, god damn it. Where I put it at? I just had it. Girl, hold on. It probably fell into my damn bed. That's another thing too, girl. Everything falling into the damn bed. Is there a magnet underneath my damn bed? Everything just roll. Everything just rolling in my goddamn bed. Ooh, that's so annoying. I don't see it now. Maybe Spirit don't want me to give y'all my secrets. Maybe Spirit said, don't share with your secrets, girl. You give them everything. Don't give them your secrets, girl. Don't share with that girl, baby girl. Don't share that. Keep that to yourself. But it's sea moss and spirulina. And honey, when I tell you I sleep good, I take my ass to bed and I notice my stress levels have dropped all the way down. That means my cortisol levels are low. And that's just what I love it, honey. I'm feeling good. Shout out to my sea merchants out there and sea creatures out there. And, sea waves. What she say? Sea waves diet. Come on, CJ. Shout out to my fellow seawayans, honey. Hello. If I can get into eating raw fish and shit, I can't get into that. No tea, no shade to anybody. Outside of tuna and mackerel, which, by the way, that was on clearance too, y'all. I'm going to show y'all, girl. I'm going to show y'all because I know y'all be thinking I'm lying. I'm going to show y'all. The mackerel was $7.29 a can, and they marked the cans down to 50 cents. And the guy said some of them expired, I think, September of this year. But I'm like, girl, mackerels, girl, boneless and skinless? Baby, I can make a stir fry with that. And mackerels are good for us, girl. They're good. And I got me some yellowfin tuna, which have 43 grams of protein in 1 can. Oh, girl, listen. Hello. The month of May is going to be a good month. Hello. It's going to be a good month, y'all. We got to step into our power. Yes, girl, we getting ready for June, the summer solstice, the power, honey. We want Goddess to come on in. We waiting for the supreme Goddess to move on through. Hello. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yes, honey. Hello. All praises to Sophia. Hello. Sophia, the real one, not the fake one. Ow! See, y'all are ready for that. Okay. And I do want to say this, too. Something came across my screen, and I'm going to be done. Y'all probably like, how the fuck do you speak out all this energy right now? I really don't know how, y'all. I woke up 2 hours ago. I cleaned up a little bit. I vacuumed by my front door. I planted my little, my mom gave me a piece of this jade. It's a purple jade like 2 weeks ago. It was in this bag the whole time. And I said, oh, 2 of them lost their roots. So I just threw them on top of the dirt. The one with the root, I actually planted it. I went to Petco. Petco they sell dirt and stuff now for indoor shit, y'all. I'm going to even do an indoor garden, y'all. Yeah, I want to do my own cucumbers and shit, zucchini, make zucchini bread and all that. Yes, girl. Thank you. Yes, I know how to make zucchini bread, girl. I was making zucchini bread in like kindergarten, girl. I was in Latchkey, girl. In the Latchkey, girl, we had our own garden and shit, like pumpkin and all that, girl. And that's when I fell in love with pumpkin. I like squash, like yellow squash and green squash. But I loved pumpkin. And, y'all, our teacher, our Latchkey teacher, we had these big ass zucchinis. And she said, we're going to make zucchini bread. We're like, yay, zucchini bread. And I just remember making zucchini bread, y'all. And it was so good, honey. It was so good, honey. Praise, yes, girl. Praise the zucchinis, girl. We love zucchinis. What was I looking up right now? Fuck, I don't remember. Girl, what was I looking up? Oh, well, it's not important. So I got a little sidetracked. We talk about zucchini breads and all this shit. Oh, well. Oh, well. And the plant being planted and all that. Whatever. It's time to go. Ow! Can we talk about quality and not quantity? Right. Yes. Come on in here. I know that's right. Yes, honey. Ow. Quality and not quantity. And so I'm okay with that. I had a sister say that too back in the day. Like, girl, when the eggs went up and shit, respectfully love you, sis. She was like, girl, the eggs are up there. It was like 13 for 12 eggs. But I'm thinking to myself, like, that's a delicacy anyway. You don't need eggs like that. Rice and beans are not up there. Rice and beans will provide you your nutrients that you need to get by. Your protein, your fiber, your minerals, biotin. Yes, beans have all that in it, honey. You can drink your fruit, your water, whatever, fruit juice for your vitamins, your vitamin C, A, B, K, and all that. So it's like, yeah, eggs and stuff, that's a delicacy. Same thing with meat. Oh, meat is getting expensive. That's not something you gotta have every day. That's not something you gotta have every day, babe. You know, maybe this is spirit telling you to wean off the chicken, wean off the eggs. Where it's like, girl, yeah. But on the flip side too, people don't mind paying for all that liquor. People don't mind paying for that wine. People don't mind paying for that nicotine, that weed, because that's just expensive. Ain't nobody crying about that, but we're crying about Taco Bell. We're crying about Starbucks raising their prices. I don't give a fuck. If I love Starbucks, I'm gonna pay the price they're asking for, bitch. If I don't love it, shut the fuck up and don't buy it. Hello? They're gonna be okay, girl. Okay? Trust me. They don't need your broke ass supporting them like that, respectfully. And I'm just saying, honey. People are like, oh, I don't listen. They don't need your money either way, girl. You're little not paying, $2, $3. I ain't fucking up no business, girl. Like I said, I'd rather pay $13 for some eggs than to pay $25 for a pack of cigarettes. And to be real nasty, even $10. I'm not paying $10 for a fucking pack of cigarettes. Get the fuck out of here. What is that doing for me? $10 for cigarettes, but I'm gonna complain about $13 for some eggs? Goodbye. Or a pound of meat is $20, which is giving me what I need, nutrients and stopping me from being hungry, but I could pay $35 for an ounce of weed. Can we talk? Read the top of the messages. Let me see. Let me see. I did read it. Yes, he's a punk. He's a punk, okay? He's a punk. Come on, I'm Dee Dee. How you doing? No, you're not a narcissist. You just put yourself first and you know you're right. Thank you, CJ. And that's the same thing my therapist told me. Even when I was a sex worker, CJ, I felt like, oh my God, this is a married man. And I'm torn because I need money and he's providing money, but he's married. And I would never want my mom's husband or my sister's husband to cheat on her. Like, I felt fucked up. I really did. I felt like a hypocrite. I was like, oh my God, this is some fucked up ass shit. And my therapist was like, no, you are like a sexologist. You are letting these men have their fantasies and fetishes out of the way, and they won't go out and do it. Which, of course, I know that to be true. When a man call you or a man is having this experience with you, he is role playing with you. And a lot of people get this as being real. And I learned this from being a service provider. When a man meets up with you as a sex worker and or an adult entertainer, he's in fantasy mode. So you have to be in fantasy mode because not you're going to get hurt. And so what ended up happening is he's putting on this role to protect his real self from doing stupid shit. And so all his ideas, all of his fantasies and fetishes, he's going to have with you when there's healthy boundaries. It's going to be a healthy situation because, of course, it ends up not being too, friendly. It can go south and go, wrong and shit. If, depends on the situation with that. Like I said, maybe I need to do a series or something on that. But that's what it is. And so when she put it in that perspective, I'm like, you're right. And so I would only entertain that type of setting when it comes down to a professional thing. I would never play with a married man in my real life, ever. I'm not going to be, no. You're married, and yeah, baby, you can't do shit for me. I'm sorry, baby. I don't give a fuck if you're giving me $1 million, honey. Okay, because at that point it's business. But still, I gotta still kind of question, like, well, are I can still see people, right? I can still do what I want to do, right? There's not no exclusiveness here, right? And there you go. But still, my mom is a narcissist. Come on, I'm Dee Dee. You know what? They say a lot of people are. You know, they say a lot of people are. And I'm really starting to see, I'm Dee Dee, and this is no cut in. I'm starting to see that a lot of LGBT people are sociopaths. I've never really thought about it, I'm Dee Dee. And I saw even the non-binary stuff. I was like, this is a little bit of this is like sociopath slash narcissistic. And maybe we could tap into that very quickly right now too, y'all. Because I never thought about it until I kept hearing this term for do I want to say it? Dominique Morgan. I think that Dominique Morgan is the prime example of what a sociopath is. I think that this person was a criminal, a career criminal for a very long time. I think that they decided at 30 something years old, and they looked the same before they transitioned. If y'all see pictures of me before my transition, y'all, I did not look comfortable. I looked very awkward. I looked socially awkward. I looked just uncomfortable presenting in a way that I was not. And so when you see these people before they transition and they're just smiling away with a bowl, a fade, and we're not talking about like a 3 year old, 7 year old, 8 year old, 9 year old boy. We're talking about like 19 years old. They're just smiling away. They're happy with their bowl cut and shit and their fade and shit. They're flat topping out. They're happy, girl. They're talking about I was a football player. I played basketball. All the ladies loved me. You're not transgender, girl. You're a sociopath. And so either way, this person decided to transition at like 36, 37. And I really think they transitioned around the time where they knew that trans people were going to start getting um, support from the government. I told y'all the story of a lady who went from looking like a football player to looking like a soft feminine woman. And I was like, this girl got money. And it came out that mama got money from Barack Obama. And mama even met him. He signed off on the paper. And mama took that money, split it down the middle. I think it was like $350,000. She split it down the middle. And instead of her doing what she said she was going to do with that money, she invested it in her body and her experience. And then the other half, she did what she said she was going to do with it. And so, of course, it's a slippery slope right now. But that's what it had come out. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, so criminal minded energy. Let me pull this up for y'all, and y'all gonna see what I'm talking about for a sociopath. Y'all gonna look this up. Y'all gonna. A sociopath is a colloquial term for someone with antisocial personality disorder, known as ASPD. It is characterized by chronic disregard for others' rights, lack of empathy, impulsivity, and manipulation. And like I said Dominique Morgan. Look at what the definition of sociopath is. Affecting roughly 3.7% of people, it often presents with deceitfulness, rage, and failure to conform to social norms. While untreatable in a traditional sense, therapy can help manage behavior. A lot of people do not seek therapists. It says right here, lack of empathy or remorse, a fundamental inability to feel guilt or understand the pain caused by others. The allegations that have been put on Dominique Morgan would be along these lines. And like I said, the allegations, because I don't know, I wasn't there to meet this woman. I don't know this person personally. Okay. It said manipulative charm, using charisma to influence others for personal gain. So mysteriously, you were not a transgender activist prior to being transitioned. You wait until you transitioned after being a career criminal because you were a juvenile even in the system, to then now all of a sudden you have an interest for other trans people because there's money involved. Okay. And then it says impulsivity, and irresponsibility, frequently acting without planning, leading to issues with employment or finances. So these people do not have stable work. They do not have stable relationships. And of course, when it comes down to tasks that are given to them by their jobs, they will do things without planning. They will take money and they will do things with the money they shouldn't do. They'll be, which will lead to issues with employment and their finances. I mean, number one thing right there. And a lot of people in the LGBT community, there's something with like check frauding. They call it witchcraft. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that term, but I was not aware of that term until I was accused of being some type of scammer by Kathy and M. By the way, they put up these fake ass allegations that I was scamming and I was selling piss in a bottle and shit. Just some dumbass shit, girl. Just dumb, 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 dumb. Shit that dumbass people do. And then I wonder why the white people say certain shit about certain people. And I'm just saying, you're feeding the stereotypes, right? But yeah, deceiving people and conning people and repeated lying or conning others. And even sometimes these people will be fake, fraudulent, and phony, and they'll come across as if they're, not that way by having like a certain dialect. Or they'll start using certain vernacular, or I was trained in that thing. I was this and that, and stuff. They come to me, just using a certain type of tongue, and it's like, girl, you still look like a liar. You still look fraudulent, bitch. If it's real, girl, let's see some investments in the actual transition. No shade. Hello. Um, Aggression and irritability, tendency towards physical fights or volatile outbursts. Yes, it says they like to fight. Now, who else spoke about fighting? Who has criminal records of fighting? Who likes to fight? I mean, the ballroom scene has a lot of that. There's a lot of people in the ballroom scene that like to fight, girl. I'm just saying, girl. Not saying, but I am saying. And it says, while not officially clinical subtypes, experts often describe sociopaths as generally being more impulsive and emotionally reactive compared to the calculative, cold nature of a psychopath. They are sometimes described as having an emotional learning disability where they struggle to internalize social emotions like shame, guilt, and compassion. So they will take advantage of people and not care about it. They will mislead people and not care about it. They won't question if they're in the right or wrong. They'll just say, bitch, I know I'm right because I say I'm right. So I've learned a lot with a lot. It actually says that ASPD and a lot of people who have this, they have issues with their parents, which is a lot of LGBT people, because a sociopathic experience can be inherited or can be taught. So I think a lot of people who have issues with their parents, no shade, are more prone to developing ASPD. It said that exact cause is unknown, but it's considered a combination of inherited tendencies, early childhood abuse or neglect, as well as potential differences in areas of the brain that handles emotions and impulsivity. Okay, so there you go. Okay, and so I know this, I see this, I feel this, that's it. I was going to say I am this, and I'm not that, honey. I was not abused, abandoned, neglected, or any of that. There are certain experiences I've had, but that did not make me antisocial. That's why I've never committed a crime. Hello! See, y'all are ready for that type of teaching. That's why I don't go to stores and steal. That's why I don't go into places and act out of character, because I think about my cons. I think, oh, if I do that, I might have this happen to me. Oh, and that might affect me in the future. People who are antisocial or sociopathic, they do not think before they act. They do it and then I do want to apologize. And even going into that Butch Queen that got drunk, and he reads people when he gets drunk, and when he gets sober, he want to act like, why do people treat me a certain way? Because you're a sociopath. You want to tell people off, but you know that if you get drunk, people are going to understand the drunkard you, and you're going to say, I was drunk though. No, but you're still a sociopath, baby, at the end of the day, because I know people that get drunk and they still have compassion for people. People that get drunk and they act out is because they really are that way, and they just hold back. So it's like, you want to know somebody's two-faced, get them drunk. See how they treat you. Honey, how about that? See how they treat you, girl. My mom is a narcissist. Ammonia and cat shit. Oh, girl, you got me on the floor. Oh, girl, we mess with you heavy. You make me laugh so hard. Come on here. You talk like me. I know that's right. Come on, CJ. Ow. Girl, need my fan on 27. I'm a hot queen. I need air so I feel you. Right. Come on in here. I'm allergic to shellfish, but not seaweed. It's funny you say that. I never thought about that. Right. You're allergic to shellfish, which I could see that as well because shellfish is, a creature that consume, things. So there's certain enzymes and certain chemicals that are in these shellfishes. And I also want to say this too. I encourage you, CJ, to get you some activated charcoal because I know a lot of sea stuff have traces of shellfish in them. So definitely get you some activated charcoal, and if you eat any type of seafood, eat you some activated charcoal because you never know. Okay. You never know. Yes, I always tell her not to put sugar. Right. It's true that some of the sugar that passes through your body turns to urine. Ah! Is it urine or is it uric acid? Wait a minute. Heather, is it urine or did you mean uric acid? Uric or uric acid? Is that what you meant? And I know it's bad, y'all, but like sugar really fucks up your body. Like sugar, think about this. Like sugar is abrasive, right? Like for your face. So you put sugar and lemon or sugar and tomato juice on your face to take off dead skin cells. Sugar and salt is also abrasive in your body. Do you know that they damage your veins and your arteries? Do you know that it fucks with your organs, your internal organs, like it scrapes the tissue of your internal organs? Do you know that it fucks up like fragile, like your kidneys have these little tiny fragile things in them? What is those things called? They're like, oh my God, hold on. There's like little tiny, they're like hairs in the kidneys. Let me tell you, hold on. What are the hair-like things within the kidneys? They're called cilia. So within the kidneys are primary cilia, which are tiny antenna-like projections found on the surface of many kidney cells. And so basically what happens is when you eat sugar or salt, because everything has to pass through these tubes, these hair-like follicles or antennas are so fragile, y'all. And I want y'all to understand that this is why I got into medical. Right. And I, even though I'm not in that, I'm not a nurse, I'm not any of that. I still went to school to do all that and I just did not finish it. I still find the human body amazing. So these antennas are very sensitive and they're even sensitive to certain chemicals that are within our food, like additives, and even going into this too, like even fat and stuff, because fat passes through your blood and stuff too. And so these antennas, they're so sensitive that sugar and salt damage them. And it literally starts tearing away at them and they start dying because everything that has cells, they renew this. So it's called a cellular turnover. And so they start getting damaged over time. They stop functioning the way they should function, and then you start having kidney problems. And we know that vitamin D is something that kind of activates the kidneys. If you do not know, it's one of the hormones that your kidneys actually need to function properly. If you do not know, now you know. And so, of course, black people, melanated people, vitamin D is believed. I think I think it's like the epidermis is the lower level skin and it's activated through sunlight. One of the things that's activated is through sunlight, or you can eat certain foods because the foods you eat also get into your skin. That's how when people eat good food, their skin look good. And so either way, what end up happening is darker skinned people tend to have kidney problems because not only, well, no, let's not say the diet. Darker skinned people should be eating more healthier, clean diets because the vitamin D that darker skinned people get will not be from the sun. It has to be from food that were created or what they call photosynthesized by the sun, because the sun gives the plants the vitamin D, and then the plants keeps that, and then when you eat the plant, it gets into your body. And so, of course, white people or lighter skinned people, you can get vitamin D activated, which is a hormone, through the sun by standing in the sun for like 30 minutes to 45 minutes a day, because you're lighter skin and the light does go through your skin. But darker skinned people, you have a shell over your skin. And I think there's a video out there of them using like sunblock, and the sunblock made these people look dark because it's like a shell. Darker skin is like a protection from certain amount of UV rays. You still need sunblock, black people. Let's not get it fucked up. But you are protected from a certain wavelength. I think it's UVA or UVB. There's a certain amount of it you are protected from, but you still get damaged on the upper layer of the upper layer of your skin. White folks or lighter skinned people, they can get affected, or non-melanated people, they get affected by all the layers, so they can get like damage deep down where even their internal cells could get fucked up. Darker skinned people, you just have surface, which it still affects you because you have blood and sensories and all that. But it's amazing, y'all. Y'all need to get into the human body, y'all. You're not into the human body. Please learn about the human body. Please learn about the anatomy and the biology. Hello. Please learn about the chemistry of the body and all that, girl. If y'all don't know about it, please get into it. Hello. And so, yeah, honey. That's it, honey. That's it, girl. Mm. Y'all, that's sad, y'all. I'm sitting here reading right now. It says that if the cilia are dysfunctional, it can lead to formation of cyst, which is a major factor in kidney disease, like polycystic kidney disease, which is known as PKD. Another structure can appear similarly microscopically in the brush border found on cells in proximal tubuli. These are non-motile finger-like projections that increase surface area for reabsorbing nutrients, water, and minerals. So these little things are called microvilli. They're little structures that look like brushes. And then you have hair kidney sign. This refers to medical imaging finding related to this disease called Erdheim-Chester disease, where the fat surrounding the kidney shows thickening, giving it a hairy appearance on a scan. Y'all take care of y'all body, y'all. Please take care of y'all body. Please. Please take care of your body, y'all. And your diet is not just what you eat, it's what you're around. I have a friend, and I don't want to talk about it. I do want to talk about it, y'all. It just really pisses me off, though. But I'm really working on myself and just minding my own business. But I have a friend that just want to be friends with people that just fucks up her energy. She just want to be friends with people who are not on her level. Like this friend of mine, girl, she's come such a long way, y'all. She's beat all odds. This lady should have been a blind, deaf, crippled, braces having individual walking with a crutch and shit her whole life, and she's not. And this woman is a business owner. She has a lot of accolades under her belt, and she's befriended people who are older than her or the same age as her, but don't want to have a good life. And instead they want to complain about their life, and my life is this, my life is that. And I always tell people, I feel like when you're a good person, and you're someone who is real, and you get surrounded by people who are also real, something about these people become changed. Something about these people become enlightened, and they start to change the way they move. And it's not you making them do it. It's just something within you awakens something within them, because they are your kindred spirit and you guys are meant to link up. This is called your tribe. When you are around people and they're still dark and you're light, or they're still depressive and you're just this energetic person, that's them not being on your frequency. That's them not being receptive or even having the ability to reciprocate the energy that you're able to give. And so respectfully, the Bible speaks about, and even God have showed me years ago, girl, you got to cut those people off. I've cut off a 10-year friendship at that point, girl. And it was actually 12 years, but we were only friends for 10 years. We met when we were 14 years old, and we stopped talking when I was 26. But I actually cut that relationship off respectfully, y'all, because the energy is not being reciprocated. And of course it was hard, because this person was protective of me. This person knew all my secrets. This person was everything to me. And when that relationship ended, y'all, it was hard. But I thought to myself, there is more to come. There's better things to life than to sit around people that want to bitch and moan about their life and they don't want to do nothing about it. And so I have a friend that's in that position. Like I said, they're much older than me. They're actually like, consider a senior citizen, no shade. And it's just like, but why do you want to be around people that don't reciprocate your energy? Like, you can't even call this person about money discussions because they don't have money. You can't even call this person about being in love because they're not in a happy relationship to be in, or they're not wanting to be in love because they don't love themselves. So in my mind, I'm like, what would cause you to hold on to a relationship like that? Like, I don't understand that. But like I said, it's not for me to understand. Everybody got to learn at their own ability. And I'm just like, girl, this is what it is. Girl, God bless you. You do your thing. You figure it out. When you figure it out, girl, hopefully it's not too late. Hopefully this person don't got to kick you in your face. Because, signs are there that this person's not on your level and you still want to be around them. So hopefully it doesn't take for this person to either kick you in your face or to set you up to get something happens to you. Like, hopefully it's not that type of situation. You got to learn from the first signs, honey. And it feel like the signs are getting worse and worse and worse. So just like, girl, I can't. I just don't understand how people can do that. But it pisses me off, honey. Anyway, her mom, hey mama, I haven't tapped in a while. Me and CJ grew up watching you in middle school, high school. It's lovely to hear from you. I've been meaning to ask you, can you drop your handles on Elsa's social media? Come on, Evan Al Olvera. You know what? I feel like I remember your name, Evan. And it could have been another Evan. So my IG, I'm not active on my spiritual social medias. I need to be more active on my IG and stuff. I think it's Two Spirited Mystic. It's the same thing, Two Spirit Mystic. And that's really all I use for. Oh, and I got a Facebook too. Like I said, I need to get more active. The other platforms that I be talking about, I want to kind of make my way over there with y'all. Like, I think Bigo, I think TikTok won't get me. And there's other platforms like I think that'd be cool to get on there and discuss some stuff with y'all about spiritual stuff and all that. I think that'd be very cool. I'll need one of my sisters to be a active admin though. I'll need one of my sisters to be an active admin. You know what I mean? To actually block, remove, and ban those holes. But that's what I would like to do. I would like to, branch out, Yeah. So yeah, read the top of the messages. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. They can get into their pleasures, but don't want to pay for their nutrients, which is a key compound in living on a high vibration. Right. Come on, Evan. Hey, Evan, we was both here when the broke ass witches were reading all of us. Right. You know what? Yes, honey. Them broke assholes were MIA. We see who reigns, who's still reigning. Come on in here, Evan. You know what's so crazy, Evan? I was sitting here. Well, never mind. That's a whole nother platform. Never mind. Let me not do that. Let's get into the LGBT being histrionic and borderline psychopathic. Yes, Evan, baby. Like, listen, I always tell y'all this from the outside looking in. I can play the role. I could pretend to say, oh no, straight people. Oh no, Donald Trump, you have it wrong. We are some good people. No, Donald Trump, there are not no men in women's garments to try to be predators on women and children. Oh no, Donald. Like, I would really love to have that type of fight. I would love to really have that fight and say, oh no, Donald Trump, Lilitino and Delvini, these are real trans women that identify as trans women that will fight for the cause of trans women, regardless. Like, I would love to be that girl. I would love to be that girl. But being in and I socialize with heterosexual people, majority of the time, 90% of my interactions are with heterosexual identifying people. And me being a part of the LGBT community, so me knowing the lingo, knowing the T's and of that, it's like most of the stuff that they say about the LGBT be accurate. And none of the people want to really prove them wrong. And that's what kind of blows me out of the water, where I say there's a bigger agenda. Because I've always been the one that tried to change people's mindset about LGBT since back in the day. And that wasn't even a big issue. But I knew what was going on in the LGBT scene. We had a group called Anda la Mierda on Facebook. We had a whole bunch of stuff where these people were being shady. There was one called Surgeries for the Girls, and they had these girls getting surgeries done, and the girls were like clowning them, sharing their pictures, making memes and stuff. And so for me, I'm like, so why are we upset at the heterosexual people? Why are we upset if Tasha K and these other people want to read us down? Because they're reading each other down. Like, I never understood it. Like, I'm just like, what type of hypocritical shit this is? And then I start looking into it. Like, what personality is a hypocrite? What personality, blah, blah, blah? What type of person will get upset that somebody called them this and that, but they will call somebody this and that? And I had to really get in. And that's what I said. I know from history, I've been in, even current right now, there's other platforms that I be on and I watch and I see people of the LGBT and I'm just like, this is actually sad, girl. Like, I've never been outed by a heterosexual person. I've never on the transgender side, I've never had any problems with being exposed privately or anything to a heterosexual person by a heterosexual person. The people that have always doxed me or tried to expose me to other heterosexual people were other LGBT people. It was either other trannies, it was other gay boys, it was other, lesbians or whatever these people call themselves. I don't know. Straight people that just like gay booty sometimes. I don't know. But I've never had certain experience. Same thing with like certain experience with race and stuff. Like my issues, me getting fired from work and me having issues with management and stuff. It was never me versus white people. It's never me versus Asian people. It's never me versus anybody else, Middle Eastern. And even right now, y'all, I go shop at these stores where these people are like anti, homosexuality. But I'm like, I don't have issues. Whether they know my tea or not, I don't have issues. When I step inside certain establishments, like Christian establishments, and the tea is clocked, I do feel uncomfortable. When I step inside of certain establishments, like black establishments, and they clock the tea or they know the tea, I feel awkward and uncomfortable. Even going into jobs and places that I worked at, I got fired. I got depromoted. I had issues where people called in to complain about me by people who looked like me. And so it's hard for me to sit back and say, the white people are the problem. It's hard for me to sit back and say, it's the Republicans. Well, I'm like, damn. So the Republicans were going into the hood and making single mothers single mothers. The Republicans, and that's not my fight, but I just think about that. Like, so it was the Republicans that was robbing the transgender people when you escort. It was Republicans that showed up and robbed you. It was the Republicans that have took out the trans community. It's the Republicans that intentionally went into places and was sniffing people's asses on videotape. Like, girl, like, let's get real here. So for me, I'm like, yeah, there's a time place for everything. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. And like people say, well, yeah, these people do it too, but they do it privately. I'd rather you do that shit privately than publicly. I'd rather you be an ass sniffer, a tranny slayer, privately than fucking publicly. There's people that have bragged about taking out transgender people, and they're not Republicans. I want to just note that. I want that noted. I want that duly noted. Okay? So it's hard for me to be delusional, to be like, oh, my problem is heterosexual conservative white folks. My issue is Republicans that are Christian that are white. When it's like, I'm not seeing no slurs the way I'm seeing on people like Tasha K. I'm not seeing white women out here being a avid saying, let's get rid of the transgenders. The men cannot use a woman's restroom. This is not a safe place for you men. But guess what? You type in black female content creator and you're going to see the black women speaking like that, acting like that. Like I said, when I had my basic ass witches attacking me, there was no white witches up in there. Oh, excuse me. There was one, a bad built one. She looked like some type of a hippopotamus mixed with a fucking what do you call those flat? Hold on. See, I need to get into these names of these things, honey. Hold on. She looked like those bitches off the 600-pound life. But Hemlock Grove, what was the name of that girl? Hemlock Grove daughter Let me see what species she was. Madeline Martin. What species was her? This is what she was given. She was given or is it Latha? Uh-oh, that ain't Madeline. Wait, hold on. Her name was Lathas. Lathas, yes, Lathas was an incest. She was an inbred. Her name was Latha Godfrey. And that's what that hoe was given. And she also called herself Comedic Witch. The fuck out of here, girl. Kiss my comedic ass. Anyway, so they looked a certain type of way. I didn't see no white people jumping on that bandwagon. I didn't see no, I didn't see no Spanish speaking people jumping on that bandwagon. I didn't see no Asian people jumping on that wagon. You know who I saw? I saw black folks and people who wanted to be black jump on that bandwagon. That's what I saw. That's what I seen, honey. I didn't see nothing else. And so, like I said, it's a little hard for me to be delusional, and excuse me for not being delusional, to say that we're not the problem. You have Baba Dick Gregory, and you have these other awakened people say that you can't hold that against them. They're just practicing what the slave masters told them to do. Practicing what the slave masters told you to do got you fucked up by the slave masters and it's getting you fucked up by the people who don't get down with that program no more. That's why you see a lot of shit right now where they say black on black crime is the highest because a lot of people don't get down with that bullshit. So if you need to be untrained by what the masters taught you, you better be untrained quickly because people ain't playing that shit no more. Hello? People are not playing that no more. Okay, so that's where I'm at with that, respectfully. And it is what it is. So, like I said, going back into the LGBT community, I would love to see people to prove them wrong. And as I said before, we don't hold these people accountable. As I said the other day, when that guy exposed this heterosexual identifying man. And that's what I was honestly seeing it as, to be honest with y'all, is that this man is a heterosexual man who looks really good, who has a lot of money, and he's into trans women. He's into, let me not say he's in trans women, but he's into feminine energy, okay? And I saw this gay boy or these gay boys team up to be like, we're going to shame him. We're going to make him feel some type of way for being into that. So that way, he can either take one of us out or he can say, fuck trannies. I don't fuck with those men in wigs and all that. And that's what it was giving. And so, like I said, knowing that that's what all this should be given, where it's like, no, you want to bully him for being into this. And unfortunately, that's what it comes down to. It just can't be that he can be into me, and just because you want it, I mean you got to have him. Because you can have it. There's a lot of openly gay guys out there who looks really good, that has money, who has a lot going on for themselves. But if you wasn't so insecure and or sociopathic, you would know that, and you can go get them. And that's why I be saying, as a trans woman who is straight identifying or heterosexual identifying, I don't turn out straight men. I don't go seek out straight men. I go into places I feel comfortable at. It just so happened that's the energy I draw. Even before my transition, I've only talked to or dated one gay guy my whole life that was openly gay. Everybody else was either bi or they were totally into women. And like I said, I didn't seek that out. Just like now, I don't say, ooh, where's the straight man at? I need a straight man. Where you at? I need a soldier in here. Where you at? Where you at? I don't say that. I just be myself, and what approach. It is what it is, honey. And so anyway, I'm not delusional. I'm not gonna be delusional. I'm not gonna, we talk about Tasha K. I don't give a fuck about Tasha K because she came for the whole community. She got her reading, says she can get another one if she need it, and anybody who want to catch it for her, they can get it too. But I'm not gonna disagree with anything she said. Most of the shit she said, just like with Dia Whisper, I don't care for that delayed lay law motherfucker. But some of the stuff that he was saying, I'm like, well, it wasn't a lie. No shade. It wasn't a lie because the sociopathic trans woman will be secretive and deceptive only to be sexually appeasing. They won't be secretive to get a job like some of us would do. You won't live a stealth lifestyle to go get a job, to go get a check. You wouldn't live a stealth lifestyle to make sure that you get the best of both worlds, but you'll live a stealth lifestyle to hopefully get the straight man naked. You'll live a stealth lifestyle to hopefully try out this man who's possibly never been with a girl before, or a T girl before. And to me, that's deception. To me, that's deceitful. To me, that's sociopathic. And so, like I said, when he said hand in hand, I was like, well, that's not true for all the people, but for the ones that are trauma or the ones that are, unhealed, I definitely think that's true. I do think that DL men and trans women have a lot in common. And even in a sense of DL men, murdering and now doing things to the LGBT, to the gay boys, because they know a lot of girls charge for their time. And a lot of girls are also packing. No pun intended. And so, of course, you show up to a girl's hotel room or their house, you just might catch something. And when I say catch something, a piece of steel, a piece of metal, a piece of tin, or some dust. Okay. And so they stopped doing that because the girls are going to charge. And a lot of us, we ask for the booking fee up front and they don't got it. So they went down into the non-binaries and it went down into the femboys because you're going to give up that experience for free. You're not going to charge. And so they're going to get the half watered down version of their TS fantasy with a non-binary. And so now it's the femboy thing too, because you're also giving the TS experience, but they really want the penis and you're not on hormones so you can get erect and stuff. So they want that. And so they're going to get that and they're going to also be, stealing and killing all that. I mean, unfortunately, that's just how that works. And so this is what's going on. And so, yes, the DL and the trans got things in common. And I'm willing to say the DL and the femboys got things in common. I'm willing to say the DL and the non-binaries got things in common. That's what I'm willing to say nowadays in 2026. The DLs and the non-binaries got things in common for sure, because you both are trying to deceive people for the sake of whatever, clout, money, or some dick. Hello? Respectfully. Because can you be non-binary and asexual? Is there any asexual non-binaries out there? Can you give me a call? Asexual non-binaries. That means you're a non-binary and you're not a sexual person. You don't care to have sex with nobody. You also don't care to get validated in your femininity. You don't care for that. Is there anybody out there? I would love to interview you. Send me a message, honey. Two Spirit Mystic. .blogspot.com 28spirit8mystic@gmail.com, and we can line something up today. Okay. If not today, whenever you message me, we could do the same day thing, honey. We won't push it off. Hello. Anyway, let me see. Come on, Tasha K. Reed. Yes, honey. She got red. She got red, honey. She got red. Her and Jessa. Well, I didn't read Just Hilarious because I won't touch on Just Hilarious for a reason, but y'all don't gotta worry about what that reason is. I just won't touch on Just Hilarious. But I will say this. The other Jess and Jessies, I will. Jessie Woo, is that sauerkraut, sourpuss face ass bitch name? Let me see. Let me double check. Hold on. Let me make sure I got this correct. Hold on. She's Haitian. Is this the girl? Hold on. Jessie Woo. Hold on, because I watched something and she was coming across very anti-LGBT. Hold on. Let's see what she's giving. Hold on. Before I say I won't. Okay. 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 You know what? I'm going to step back until I get the information again. I'm going to... I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna step back. Sourpuss means somebody who is pretty but they're angry. That's what a sourpuss means. Sourpuss face. That means she's pretty, but she's an angry, pretty woman. But let me step back until I get my tea correct. But Tasha K, she definitely could get it because she just have this animosity. I mean, girl, it was even something tasteless that she did the other day. Tasteless. I sound like I was from Maryland for a little bit. Tasteless. She was telling us that her makeup artist who died named Willie, that he was in a relationship with Busta Rhymes. And I was like, you just a tacky ass bitch. Why don't you use the cisgender woman? See, you know why? Because you're a clout chaser. You're not going to use the woman and their stories of pedophiles. See, that'd be another thing too. Why not do a story on pedophilic men? Why not do a story on men that want to get with women to do things with their children? But instead, she's touching on the gay stuff and the trans stuff and And, these men in wigs and these men in some new nut. Yeah. Why don't you touch on that, baby? But she went as far to throw her. Girl, how low can you go? I mean, I know they say that black women are the stepping stones for everybody, but damn, do you really have to act like that? Like she literally said that her makeup artist just threw him under the bus. Just threw Willie under the bus and don't know if Willie got a friend that went there. And see, that's how I be thinking too. See, because she don't give a fuck. You don't know if Willie, if this is true or not, we don't know. We don't know if Willie had a friend that went in to the situation with them, and now Busta Rhymes is gonna have the friend taken out because messy ass Tasha K opened her motherfucking mouth, and that's another thing to you punks, you sissies, you butch queens, femme queens, drag queens, trannies, and all that. Shut the fuck up. These people are not your camaraderies. Stop having discussions with the heterosexual people that think they're better than you about your secret shit and your closet shit. Stop doing that. Because shit like this is an example of that. Stop showing them the secrets and the tea. And girl, this is how you're gonna know if your man, girl, that's not your concern. Let her find out. A woman is intuitive. She should know if her man is dicking down a homosexual. She shouldn't have to ask your sissy ass that. Bitch, and it's the same one that will call you AIDS infested, you're a nigga in a wig, but you're telling them all the secrets. You're clocking it. You're showing them how to do clock. You're showing them how to no tea, no shade, honey. You're showing them how to do makeup properly. Because they were looking like motherfucking creatures and shit in the motherfucking 90s before a transgender or a punk taught them how to do their makeup accurately. Hello? Hello? And y'all giving them y'all secrets and, well, this how I get a man. And this how I suck D. This how, girl, don't, There's no camaraderie with that girl. We could work with each other. We could work with each other when it comes to real life shit. But I'm never going to do a tell all of how to keep a man and get a man from a transgender point of view. That's never going to happen. Because, bitch, at the end of the day, girl, you will learn my secrets and you will still call me a fag. You will still call me a nigga in a wig. You will still disrespect me and you learn from me. And that's how people be getting down in these spaces. And so you don't know if by Tasha K throwing Willie under the bus, if this really is true that oh boy decides to get Willie's friend together. But see, she don't give a fuck because they don't care about your safety and they don't care about that. They don't care about that. Even going back into history, you were hired to protect them. You were hired to protect them from predators. You were hired to protect them from sexual deviancy, even though some of you were, doing things with them. Because I personally, I'm just gonna be honest. If I was a heterosexual identifying man, I would not trust a gay man with testicles around my woman because I know that men will always be men regardless of how they identify. If you're fully functioning as a man and you are somewhat okay with women, like I'm not into women, but I'll kiss a woman. Yeah, you would also have sex with this girl and get this lady pregnant because there's a lot of stories out there like that. Look at Flame and Rose situation. All tea, all shade. Bitch, look at that situation. So I wouldn't trust that. And so when men say they don't want their wives or girlfriends around LGBT people, I kind of say, hey, I do, especially if they're gay men only. Like, I do see that because it's a man. And, honey, they're going to think they could do it better than you. Especially being a sociopathic individual. A sociopathic individual who just happened as a gay male will try to show these straight men they could be a better man than them. That's just how it is. Just like the sociopathic trans woman will show these women that they will be a better woman than them. But I'm like, you can't really do that, babe. Those are two different types of energies. Now, if you're saying feminine energy, you definitely can. Because that's two different things. Gender, sexual, and then real energy, frequency. There's a difference between divine feminine energy, divine masculine energy, and divine females and males, and as well as women and men. Hello? But, like I said, girl, listen. Mama's a salty ass, nasty ass bitch. And then we know why they say those allegations about her husband. I mean, girl, you're masculine. If a man do fuck with you, he gay, girl. That I think she said one of her boyfriends was gay too back in the day. I don't know. I mean, I can see it, girl. She's very strong. You know what I mean? She's not a soft woman. So, men like hard women, and they might be into hard men too. I mean, that's just how it is, girl. If you're a soft feminine woman and you're, concerned about it. I mean, I don't know. But if you're masculine like Tasha K, she's definitely a masculine woman. Um, yeah, girl. I mean, it's gonna be obvious that the man might be into other men when he dates you. Girl, you're strong. hmm You're strong. You're a strong woman. You act like you rock Timberland boots and brass knuckles. Like, girl, no shade. Tasha K don't give y'all a lipstick. She don't give y'all a lipstick lesbian. She don't give you lipstickish. If I did not know, I would think Tasha K was a lesbian. If I did not know better, I would think that. That would be my personal opinion. I would say, is this a lesbian? Because she don't give me straight woman that likes penis. I don't know. Maybe play with it, but I don't get it. No, I don't get that, babe. And that goes for a lot of the girls that want to read the girls. The Marvinette girl, lesbian. They don't give me straight. The basic ass witch crew. They all gave you studs. They all gave you masculine, strong. When they were in prison, they were eating it like sushi. And there's nothing wrong with that because I love my lesbians out there, honey. My best friend's a lesbian. You know, some of my sisters that I grew up, we connected with our lesbians. My supporters are lesbians. So I love my lesbian women, honey. But I'm just saying, girl, if you lesbian, girl, just say it. Girl, you don't gotta, act like you not. Hello? Even the ones that be pretty, girl, they be giving lipstick stud. I'm like, y'all really like penis? I don't get it. I don't get penis oozing from you. I get like that Bryant lady. What's that lady saying that they found out she wasn't a qualified therapist? She don't give me penis lover. She don't give me penis lover. I don't get it. I don't get penis lover. I want to turn these girls out. I really get, and like I said, even the prettiest of the prettiest, we're not going to cut in. We're not going to say no names, but even the pretty ones, I seen something, I'm like, yeah, this is a lipstick stud, or this is a lipstick femme or something, because she doesn't give me penis lover. Like, I don't get it. I get like she really would get drunk and yeah, I don't know. I get that from a lot of these people, and I said everybody because I don't know everybody. Let's put that out there. I don't know everybody, but I'm just saying. I look and I'm like, is she part of the Rainbow Coalition? She part of the Rainbow Serpentine Children. The Rainbow Children. What's going over here? Okay, men will always be men. Right. Mystic. When said some native spirits are European colonized deities were from the mixed race people who were raised in native tribes, but use the magic against them or use their European magic. Wait. I gotta reread that. Oh, I think you're saying when I said, right? You said when you said. I have to reread that. So, of course, very similar to the African and the European. Very similar. They learn their ways, and then they use what they learn to get them together. Have y'all ever wondered why certain type of people like to go to foreign and unknown places? You think it's just to see different people? Like, oh, I want to know how the Polynesians are living their life. Oh, I would like to go to Moro and see what they're doing there. Oh, let's go to New Zealand. These people are spiritual obsessed. They're obsessed with spirituality because spirituality and culture go hand in hand. People with a strong spirituality has a strong culture. And these people know that. And so they go onto these places to learn, is there any more secret stuff these people are doing that we need to learn? Like we could go even to like the American missionary work and stuff. Allegedly, they're going into these places to do the workings of God and stuff. And when they're over there, they're doing everything but the devil. They're doing all things but God work. Look up the missionary stories of these people going over there and doing things to these kids and these women and stuff. Very similar to some of these soldiers. And so either way, they are obsessed with spirituality and culture. And of course, they learn the ways of these people. And then of course they rewrite it. And then now there's a Hades book or there's a book about voodoo, and you look up the author and it says like a Jean Paul Claudette. and you go look up John Paul Claudette, and there's no images of her, then you come to find out that John Paul Claudette is actually a woman, a white woman who was stationed in Hades for a little bit because her husband and her went up there to go volunteer and blah blah blah. And bingo, and some of them also have like alternates because of course you can have your real name, then you can have a name as an author. Anybody knows about books and all that, you know that. You can, there's you got to get your stuff copyrighted, and there's a certain organization you have to go through in order to get this. You pay a fee. The fee ranged from like $50 to like 200 some dollars, and it asks you for your legal name and the name that your workings is under. So a lot of people, that's what they be doing. And I'm like, yeah, honey, these people are switch uppers. They use your knowledge against you. So if you're asking, these mixed race people in these tribes where they're using the European magic and the indigenous magic to get these people together, they're using a combination of both because, of course, going into even hoodoo is Jewish. Wait till I put this little clip out, y'all. I got to do this clip too. This is gonna be my first serious video that I put out. Um, but Jewish, indigenous, and African magic is what hoodoo is. And of course, it is a term that has been used since only a certain amount of time. Now, mind you, this country has been established, for some time. Even before they called America America, this land has been here for millions of years, thousands of years. And so either way, you start to, be like, well, what was they doing prior? Well, the energy that they're doing now, people are praying for, as that guy said about Negro spiritual, praying for take my people home or let my people go. It didn't work. It's still not working. And you know why? Because they gave you that. So the magic that they gave you, bitch, is not going to work. It's only going to work to a degree. You have to actually know the workings to be able to tap into the workings. Then that's how you're going to get them together. Okay. Anyway, let me go, y'all. Let me go, honey. Let me drink my water, honey. I'm gonna have to also get me a little TTT. I'm like the AI girl. I need some water. I need some girl. The AI need water to communicate and think. I need water to think too. Hold on. Mm, 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 All my knowledge has done got out, honey. Miss, I really wish you'll think about getting into TikTok. I think the algorithm would really boost you. You know what? I won't get into TikTok though, Evan, because I believe that TikTok is government funded. Something that I had a while ago, and that's why I keep saying I feel like people need to give me my flowers personally and publicly. And sometimes I think like personal people really should know, but I think they really don't care because for some reason we have this egotistical thing where we think we're better than other people. And so we don't want to acknowledge that people are possibly better than us. And I'm not saying I'm better than other people, but I'm saying like instead of me as a teenager doing things that other teenagers did, I was educating myself on things. I was thankful, I was grateful, and I think aligned with people at a very young age that taught me a lot of stuff. I was 15 years old. Working with people that thought I was 18 years old. And of course, when they found out about it, because at that time you didn't have to have an ID to do all this, but when you made a certain amount of money, they asked for your information. It's like, oh shit, wait a minute. So either way, I told people years ago, because now TikTok asks you how old you are, and they have an adult section of TikTok now. And they've always had it, but now they're getting exposed for it, and they don't want that shit to get taken away because, Visa and MasterCard, they don't play. Visa and MasterCard has very strict rules if they're going to be if you're going to be using them as a payment processor. And so this is why certain adult sites, they don't, people are able to dispute their transactions and stuff, right? Because they can say this person deceived me, or they can say this person did other things, whatever. I won't get into that. But TikTok, I said it before even Donald Trump got in office. I said I won't be on TikTok because I feel like TikTok is some type of manipulative testing ground for something. And then even going into a friend of mine, they were like addicted. Like, girl, TikTok almost ended our friendship. Y'all, I'm be honest with you. TikTok, and at that time we were friends for like 8 years, but it almost ended our friendship because it was every time we turned around, it was TikTok, 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 TikTok. On TikTok, saw the video, TikTok this, oh, this people are this, oh my God. And it was driving me nuts where it's like, girl, TikTok is telling you how to fucking think. TikTok is telling you how to be a woman. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, how the fuck are you grown, girl? Because, she's so much years younger than me. You're grown, grown. And you're letting these apps tell you what the fuck to do. Girl, I was addicted to Google. I was addicted to YouTube. And I still didn't let it tell me, oh, I was watching a YouTube video. And they was saying, this time I'm going to clean my floor. Lady told me this time I'm going to clean my ass. I got a video on how to soak my ass in the tub so I can clean. Like, what? Your parents that you try to watch your stanky ass booty? The fuck? So I'm just confused. Like, girl, what's going on? I'm just so confused. Oh, God, we want to sound like Maryland people so bad. I'm so confused. They be like, so confused. How y'all be talking over there, Maryland? I need to pick up your accent. I'm so confused. And she got married. Anyway, so I'm just so confused about what is going on, girl. And so with the TikTok thing, I told them before they start regular, because remember TikTok went offline for a couple of days. And I said, these Chinese people, they're good with technology. They're putting something on these platforms to feed some type of algorithm. And I told someone, I said, well, Donald Trump is going to basically use this because they're not going to get rid of it. TikTok got too many users. They are going to use this to do mass control, mass whatever. They're going to figure some stuff out. And so I learned the technology behind Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and how we affect Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. If we're healthy and we're pure intention, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth won't work a certain way. It takes low vibrational people to keep Wi-Fi and no, not Bluetooth, excuse me. Bluetooth is the other way. Bluetooth is neutral. But it takes negative people or negative environments to keep Wi-Fi strong and active. That's why even in the country parts where there's dense light communities, or let's say there's only 4,000 people there, there may be homes there, but the Wi-Fi stuff won't work there, y'all. So humans and Wi-Fi works hand in hand with each other. And so when I learned this, I thought to myself with TikTok, I said they are going to use TikTok to get away with some things. And look what's going on. TikTok did their little shutdown last year. At the beginning of the year for a couple of days. It comes back. They talk about another one. It did not happen. And then they made it to where you had to prove that you are an American citizen, allegedly. And girl, people are still on TikTok. Going into this as well. Somebody was going through something. I know they were having a mental breakdown, and TikTok was feeding into their breakdown. I'm trying to cheer them up. I'm trying to motivate them. I'm trying to say, no, honey, this is not what it is, spiritually and physically. And they're letting TikTok basically keep them in a slumber. And I said, well, I can't say shit because the bitch got TikTok. Honey, I don't have TikTok. It's on one of my phones, but I don't click on it like that. I used to watch those videos of people selling crystals and stuff. I don't get on there like that. That shit is demonic. I don't care what nobody say. TikTok is motherfucking demonic. And that's why even the people that figured out algorithms and stuff, people were going viral on TikTok for the most demonic thing. Look up TikTokers arrested. Look up TikTok. YouTube have some too, but these are people that were already mentally fucked up. People were doing stuff on TikTok to go viral. People were like, oh my God, on TikTok, I can get views if I do this. People were literally doing stuff on TikTok to go viral. Same thing with Twitch. Even though Twitch I'll be more open to get onto because I feel like they're a little more, whatever. But TikTok is demonic to me. I will not be on there, baby. That is a low vibrational demonic tea. I look at even all the little TikToker spiritual people, and I'm just like, y'all are full of shit. Girl, coming out and I'm spiritually inclined, and then just but how is your life like mundane people? People who are spiritually inclined, we don't have the same life as everybody else. We don't live our lives like them. We don't live like mundane people. We do live life like humans, but when you look back at your life, you're going to say, damn, something is a little different about me. And maybe somebody else will bring it up and say, hey, you notice you ever, and it's like, wait, you're right. So it's like you are different. The fact that you are spiritually inclined, but you're still somebody's baby mama, not once, not two, not three, but four, but seven, eight, nine times. And well, yeah, but this is my story because maybe I meant to sit out here and tell people and encourage people. Girl, what? Brenda got a baby? That didn't encourage people not to be a baby mama? They got movies out there, the R Train and shit, girl, from the 90s and early 2000s. That didn't motivate people. So you think it's going to take you to be the motivator? No, girl, you're part of the problem. Your manager, your talent manager got you in here to use, oh, you look like a black girl. You wear your braids, you wear your weaves, you put your makeup on. You even sound like you're an urban girl. You let's use your energy to get these people together. And that's what you're doing. You're a sellout, babe. That's the joke. You're a sellout. Now y'all and YouTube, I saw it too, girl. I'm like, girl, if we had to have a conversation, I'm waiting for one of the biggest people to come out and talk about it. Because the one that is talking about is somebody who actually got kicked out. One of these people are on their way out the door. Spirit is already showing it. And when they come out and they start dropping gems on people, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon. Because I'm like, the community that be talking about all this shit, girl, it's something going on behind the scenes. And I pay attention to a girl. Everybody's into hoodoo, but the hoodoo in these different states look different. Louisiana voodoo, Louisiana slaves are not communicating with the people over there in Tennessee, girl, and vice versa, Mississippi and all that. So if this is really what it is, then y'all magic system is different. Tennessee might have the experience of bringing money into your house by having a jar behind your door that you put buttons and quarters and pennies and nickels and dimes in it with corn and shit, right? To confuse the spirit because, of course, when people try to count your money, it fucks up your money, right? So that could be Tennessee voodoo type to like, or hoodoo to keep your money from going down. And then going into Mississippi, it could be taking your toilet paper because, of course, food is money, agriculture is money. So you put it in, it comes out, it cleans. You take your toilet paper, then you write down what you want, and then you wipe your whatever, and then you flush it down the toilet, whatever, however. Mississippi type of hoodoo. Louisiana hoodoo will be a little different. They take the coffee can. They put coffee in the coffee can. They'll keep the coffee can in the kitchen, in the corner of the kitchen, either in a cupboard on top of the refrigerator, and they'll put bills or petitions in there. Sometimes even money to grow it because it takes money to grow money. You put your money down, it plant, the energy plants and then it multiplies. Of course, the Bible stuff speaks about that. And so these are the different ways of making money. Well, you have people that are doing hoodoo and they're from Oklahoma and they're talking about Louisiana hoodoo style. It's like, bitch, you're not from Louisiana. How the fuck? The hoodoo's not the same in Louisiana as it is in Oklahoma. The Indiana hoodoo is not the same as Tennessee. Like, girl, Georgia got their own system. Texas got their own system. How is it that all you hoes are from different? Well, I'm from Texas, but I currently live in Louisiana. So why are you not doing Texas hoodoo? Because you're doing what's trending, what's viral. You're doing what's trending, what's viral. People thought spirituality was trendy in 2017, and that's what was going on. So a lot of you hoes became trendy because you thought it was that. Now somebody else, now other people are capitalizing on it for other stuff. Feminine energy, divine feminine energy, goddess energy. Like I said, some of us, we've always lived that life. Regardless of how we've been, we've always been that goddess energy. And now, girl, people are now jumping on that. They getting caught out for that. So it's just like, girl, and they call themselves goddess and stuff, girl. And when I get into that, girl, hello, I'm just saying. But we do things off of virality and all that. I'm just like, girl, So TikTok, I don't think so at this point. It's a no for me. But other platforms like Twitch, Bigo is also a little whatever, whatever. But I feel like I can kind of shake it up over there. I've seen other people, so-called get gifted down for doing shit. And I'm like, I could plant the seeds of change amongst the demonic black community on Bigo. Hello! Some of my supporters came over here from those basic ass witches reading me down. Hello? And so I know that, it takes one to teach one to reach one. And so, like I said, for me, I'm willing to put it out there. I'm willing to test the waters and you know, test it. TikTok, I don't know. I don't know, honey. I really don't know, babe. Okay, come on, Patty. The cookie cutter, which, all right, the cookie cutter. Can we talk? Okay. Man, mister, come on in there. I just wish I could see more real spirituals in TikTok. It's hardly any of them. Right. That's what I'm trying to say, too. It's hardly any on that platform, just YouTubers. Evan, the new age YouTubers, it's the same thing. I was watching these tarot readers on the live, and I'm like, girl, if you're so insightful for other people, Spirit is also talking to you. What source are you connecting to that you're knowing everybody else's business but not your own? Like I've seen people sit up here and like I'm just like you're not giving like what did my sister say the other day? We know this guy who looked musty, dirty, and raggedy. And people are like, oh, he just looked that way because he's tired. But she's like, no, I think he really is that way. And coming to find out he is that way. So it's right. Like, you look how you are. You look musty and tired because you are musty and tired. You look dirty because you are dirty. So the same thing with that. I'm looking at these people and I'm just like, you don't give me manifester, though. You just give me that spirituality is popular and you're going to jump on and try to read people to tap in on that. You don't give me success. And I don't know. I don't see it. And like I said, I'm always willing to share my information with people who are actually trying to connect and work on themselves. If you're like, hey, I need this, can you give me proof that you have the credentials to show me that? I sure can. I sure can. Protection, love, energy, healing, money, whatever. I definitely can, babe. We could definitely give examples, old, new. We could definitely compare and contrast. I don't give behind the scenes for a reason. Okay. And so with that, that's how I like to keep it. Okay, respectfully. So yeah, TikTok, there's not gonna be no real witches on there, because real witches don't go viral. Real spirituality, you're not gonna get it. Fakeness, phoniness, fraudulent. I mean, listen, they were having a lot of people, those basic ass witches back in the day, honey. They were getting like 3,000. I mean, look at the other one right now. The witch patrol bitch. No shade. Oh, no shade. Look at her. Thousands and thousands of views, and girl, she'll be talking about shit. This is somebody's baby mama who's never been nobody's wife, who have multiple children, don't have a ring on it. I don't know, maybe she got married before, but she's not a wife now, and she's of age. Mama's over 40, and she's sitting here dissecting energies and frequencies and telling people this is what it is. If you knew energies that well, then where's your husband at? Where is the life that you want to live at pre-YouTube and after YouTube? What is your plans? And that's all I'm saying. So the views are not viewing, and Mama's now making $1 million a year because she's just dropping real knowledge. And now there's people all over America taking her information, and now they're planting that seed, and now everybody is changing, everybody's leveling up. There's one thing I can say about somebody who I did have issue with in the past, so Shira Star Goddess or Shira Seven, is her knowledge planted seeds all around the world. Now, I don't really care for her on a lot of things, but credit gotta be given where credit is due. To an extent, her information planted seeds, and now it has shifted people. You don't see people, especially black women, on a greater scale acting a certain type of way. Now, I'm not saying Ashira did that, but I'm saying that that seed was planted and somebody ate it. But this other shit these people be giving, I'm like, but what energy are you giving off that people can like? What are you doing for your people? Like all your content is you bashing gay people. Your content is you reading celebrities down, and you don't have their money, you don't have their fame, you don't have that contract. You would like one, you would like a viral moment, but it's not happened. And so, as a Red Fur recipient, or used to be a Red Fur recipient, out of their own mouth, that's what they said. It's like, but what is these 2,000 views doing though? Like, are you like in 2026, Donald Trump's America? What is this doing for the people? Are we seeing divorce rates go down? Are we seeing now black women becoming more desirable? going up. Like these are things that I would like to see for me to say there are some real black female witches that care about black women. Like that's what I would have to see. Now speak about me and my trans experience, and I would love to have people come and speak about their experience with me, women, gay, straight, bi. I've helped people accomplish things. I know my seeds have been spread throughout the country. I know there's people all around the world that's benefited from my knowledge, my information. Even some people have watered down my information to make it like it was their own, and I don't really give a damn because I got paid. I'm still getting paid off of it. Hello. Let's take a sip to that. Sip. So I don't care for that. But what I'm saying is, honey, if you're really doing what you're doing, and you can say that I really empowered people and actually show it. Like, girl, what are your people doing? And like on the other platform, Beagle, like I've seen people who have followers and they're here, they be giving wisdom. People like, thank you so much. You give me so much wisdom. And then you go look at them. It's like every other day they're coming back with more baby daddy drama. And I'm just like, but what type of wisdom does she give you if you're still stuck with the same fucking baby daddy and the exact same issues? Because I'm a trans person. I don't have a baby daddy, but I can tell you some shit to get your baby daddy together to where he will never, ever, 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 you will never have a problem with him again. Ever. And we're talking about financially, we talk about spiritually, we talk about mentally, we talk about emotionally. So for me, if we're gonna fight woman versus man, transgender versus woman, real woman spirituals from transgender spirituals, it's like let's put your magic where your mouth is. How many women could come forward and say that honestly, truly, that they were with a zero and they got with a hero because you taught them that? How many people actually say that now they're actually married and happy because you advise them on what to do? How many people you would tell you that could tell you that was once your followers or is your followers still that was once a welfare queen and now they're making their own money, being their own boss and taking care of their family. They're building legacies now. Like these are informations that we would like to see. Are there any lawyers, doctors, attorneys? You have congresswomen, congressmen, singers, dancers, models, actors, successful people under your belt. And that's saying under your belt like you run them, but it's saying like, do you only have the basic ass, no name, nowhere going assholes that follow you? Because that's entertaining, not enlightening. I would think as a spiritual advisor, I'm not a comedian, I'm not an actress, I'm not here to, I have fun because I'm a fun person. This is just my personality. But my intention is not to be an actress. My intention is not to be a singer, dancer, an entertainer. My intention is to provide a service for you to help better your life. So it goes along the lines of like life coaching and inspirational. So this whole idea that I'm going to be a single baby mama and I'm going to show you how to get your power up when my power is not up doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to show you how to get your game up as a manifester because I know magic and I know energy and I can tell you about the energy of fire and air and water and earth and all this and that. But yeah, I can get the man of my dream to help keep me so that way I don't have to slave and beg and do all this shit on YouTube. And force people to cash out me money and shit. Like these are just things I think about. Where it's like, so are you magical or are you just informational? And it's okay if you are that, because everybody can't be a witch. Everybody cannot be that magi. But it's like, just stop acting like, well, I know a lot about this. No, girl, you just read a lot of books. You just watched a lot of other witches and you took notes of that because you write notes down and we see you on your videos looking down in your notes. You're a note taker. People that study things, but yet they have no proof of what they studied actually manifest are people that take notes. They're note takers, respectfully. They're note takers. You can't even say they're speakers because when you speak, you move energy. They're note takers. And it's okay that you're a note taking witch. But if your magic is where your magic is, where's your example of your magic working in your life? That's what I said, girl. I'm never going to show you no altar. Well, we can give you examples of my life shifting. We show you example of my life rising, climbing, and going the way that I want my life to go in this moment. Can you give me an example? Can you give us an example? Because a lot of people, I went to school, I got a bachelor's, a master's, and you got a bastard, a bastard's. You got bastard children, but you got a bachelor's degree in let's step back for a minute. You got a bachelor's degree in political science, and you end up being a YouTube fighting over who's a witch and who's not a witch. Yeah. Can we talk about it for a minute? You married one of the biggest dope dealers in Electra, one of the biggest whatever. You couldn't take that money and multiply because that's what women do. As women, as feminine energy, we multiply what is given unto us. That's one of the gifts of a woman. That's one of the gifts of divine feminine energy. We're multipliers. Men or masculine energy is givers, and divine feminine energy is multipliers. We turn a dollar into 100. We turn 100 into 1,000. So as a multiplier, a woman who's fighting over who's a real woman, could you not get a man that got it to give it to you so you can shit your ass up over there and shut the fuck up and get what it is that you need to get? No, because you can't get it. And trauma has to speak to trauma. And that's what I learned. Trauma has to speak to trauma. People who want to stay in a trauma want to be around people who encourages their trauma. And that's what the modern day world is now. We don't listen to people because we want to get help. We listen to people because they encourage the trauma that we're currently in. I trauma bond with these people and I don't feel like I have to change. I know people that were doing progressive on their healing and they degressed or they stepped down. They started to go back down because they were like, bitch, that's too much work. I don't want to have to heal myself. That's too much work, honey. I'm 50 years old, girl. Yeah, if it's meant for me to be daddy hurt and all that, I'm just going to be there for the rest of my life. Who gives a fuck? And there you go. Now they back playing with daddy trauma energy. And it's like, okay, girl, that's your business, not mine. Girl, that's your business, not mine, girl. You want to be, girl, in the project show, whole life, girl, that's your business, girl. You want to stay the 99, not the 1%, girl, that's your business, honey. You want to be this pop, pop, poom, poom, poom goddess, but all you get is dirty ass tongue, poom, girl, hello? And that's what I be saying too, girl. I can never brag about having a poom poom and all I track is dirty, ghetto, ratchet ass dick. I could never do that, y'all. I would feel crazy, y'all, respectfully, if I was sitting here with a vagina that give birth to children and actually have children to say that I'm that girl and this and that, and all I can show for it is children from the man who don't want me or the man I do get are dirty, uneducated, and can't do a fuck ass thing for me or my children. Girl, bye. At that point, girl, just slap me. At that point, girl, just run me over. At that point, girl, just slay me out. Girl, just take me out, girl. Take me out low. Take me out low. And that's where I'm at with that, girl. Okay? Respectfully. Girl, tap into your energy. Let that goddess energy wake up in you, girl, and actually manifest that man. Manifest that side piece. I mean, hell, for that matter, girl, manifest an investor, honey. Get you a man that will invest in your image. And you won't have to get on here with your synthetic wigs and your press-on nails. Let me say that reading session, honey. Because, see, she's getting it, girl. What's her name? I can't remember. They told me her name before. She's getting it still, girl. I'm not done with her. Girl, she gonna get it, girl. Mm-hmm. Y'all need it? We're gonna give it to y'all. I'm gonna give myself an hour. Her and the holistic Oprah looking witch. Okay? Oprah looking witch. Girl, this girl went from looking youthful, shiny, brighty, and this and that to a matter of now, girl, mama's looking tired. Mama got bags. Mama got bags, honey. She's looking tired. She's looking tired. She's looking whipped in the spirit. And I got to read her one good time, too. I thought she was inspirational as well, girl. She's an international hoe. She traveled too, girl. She got a passport, girl. She hoeing over here. She hoeing over there. I got to get her too. So first is going to be Miss Thing over there, girl. I need to go get caught up on some of that content. Ow! I haven't seen the content since last September. I need to get on that content, though. Get caught up. And when I'm in that energy, I come back and I get on camera because, I like, when I read, I want her to see me. I want her to feel me. You know what I mean? Hello? And I want to just lay it out on her. I want to just lay her out. And I want her to feel it. Hello? Because they say, girl, when they got a lot of pattern, they can't feel it. But she going to feel this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, she going to feel this type of reading, girl. Mm-hmm. And don't think of it as a, oh yeah, and I'm drinking a Capri Sun Moon Punch. I don't know if y'all got into the new Capri Suns, y'all. But the new Capri Suns, let's get into it really quickly. The new Capri Suns ingredients is filtered water, sugar, pear and cherry juice, citric acid, grape and apple juice, monk fruit, natural flavor, mushroom extract to protect the quality. I told y'all we take mushroom, we drink mud water, and we also take mushroom extract from Sprouts. Shout out to Sprouts, honey. And so, anyway, yeah, I wanna, like I said, don't take it as a transgender bullying a woman, because I tell y'all, the panel's open. Maybe I need to start an email called the reading. I don't know, the tarot reader. Maybe I need to call myself the tarot reader, the tarot reading. Call it a tarot reading art. Girl, hello, the tarot reading art girl. Let me see. Hold on, let me see something really quickly. I gotta see something really quickly. The tarot reading. I can spell tarot a certain way. Let me see something really quickly. It'll be the tarot reading session, honey. Hold on. Let me see something. Mm. Okay, no. Okay, let's try this then. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. Mm. Okay. I could call myself the tarot, but like the fruit tarot. That's what I can do. Yeah, I'll call myself the tarot talo. The tarot talo kahalo if I'm real nasty. The tarot kahalo reading session. That's what I call myself. The tarot kahalo reading session. That's what we're gonna do, girl. We're gonna do it with a Polynesian twist. And girl, like I said, honey, just take it as that. Take it as a reading session. Because if she can step in the playing field with the children, and anybody can step in with the children. And when I say anybody, anybody can get it, y'all. Don't. I'm bi. Okay, I'm bi, not sexually, but I'm bi linguistically, and I'm bi everything else. Everybody can catch it. Every girl, you can call me binoculars too, girl. Everybody, the children, the elderly. If you want to step in the playing field, I read you like an elderly too. That's what I do. I interpret energy, so I can read the elderly down. Y'all got a grandmama. Y'all need me to read. Y'all need me to read. Y'all need me to read your grandma. I can read your grandmama down too. Hello. You got a 5-year-old you need me to read? I can read the 5-year-old down too. Baby, don't play with me. See, listen, I get it. I can read a 5-year-old, I can read a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, a girl. Hello. We can even do a uterine read. Hello? You want to do a uterine read? We could do that too. Okay, we're gonna have to have the Holy Spirit to step in on that. Hello, we can definitely tap in on that, baby. It's non-discriminatory because see, you can put your mouth on me, I can put my mouth on you. Not saying I want to put my mouth on you because you put your mouth on me. It's kind of like the Queen of the Dam. Remember when they took the queen out, Akasha? They were all these vampires were suckling on her and they killed her, girl. See, with me, it does the other thing, girl. You try to suckle me and bother me, girl, you get splattered, tattered. Hello, and so I just take it as a read to a reader because she's a reader, wannabe. She act like she can read, and she same thing with Miss Holistic Healing Girl. She act like she can read too. So you got the floopy doopy doop mouth on your ass, bitch. I'm gonna be able to have the doop doop mouth on my motherfucking ass too, and that's how we gonna be. So that's the day, and I'm gonna read very politely. I need some girl. I need a thesaurus. I'm gonna need a translator. I need a Google translator for proper English. So I might have to go ad lib. I might have to write my reads down. I might have to pull a Kaya. I'm gonna have to write my reads down and make sure I read it community guideline wise. You know what I mean? I might have to look up the community guidelines and read according to them. Because, baby, I want to make sure that my linguistics, my vernacular, and my dialect is being read and fucking wrote the same way I'm motherfucking saying it. And I want to make sure that she can understand what they say, understand, overstand, and understand. So I need to make sure that she can feel it. And then I'm also going to attempt to do what if she is or whatever, try to claim, because I don't think she do lives because she don't want nobody to jump up over there because I would jump over there. Girl, well, I would like that. Could she get on a TikTok or something? See, now I'll go to TikTok and she go to TikTok. That's what I'll do. If she got a TikTok, I would love to have a healthy debate with her. Because, girl, mama was on a diet 10 years ago. I'm like, girl, what happened to that diet? What happened to that diet, Vladimir? She was on a diet 10 years ago. And I'm just like, girl, what happened to that diet, sister? What's going on? You got all the magic and shit. You got all the magic in the world and all that. You got all this Afro Satanism and shit. I'm like, isn't there an African herb that would just kill you out? Didn't they say duck flour will allow you to slim it on down quickly? In 3 days, you can lose like 20 or 30 pounds. I'm just like, girl, no shade. So I'm like, at the end of the day, sis, she liked to read. I like to read. But she liked to read when nobody can respond back. I like to read when people can respond back. I like to read you to where you can respond back. And I would love to actually go up over there and get underneath that comment section and say, girl, can we have a private discussion or public discussion? We could do one or the other. We could do it privately or publicly. We could do it privately, let bygones be bygones, keep it pushing. Or we could do it publicly where your ass get taught a motherfucking lesson. And that's probably why she said I was with these basic ass witches too, because she's like, well, if you're not on my side, you're against me. No, I think that you're more on their side than I am. Y'all got a lot of things in common. I don't have nothing in common with none of you simple ass hoes, honey. Simple ass hoes are like simple ass men. Goddesses don't like simple ass men. So, that explains why a lot of you ain't married to your husband. And that's why some of the men just left you. You were simple trying to act like you wasn't simple. So the man had to get out the picture. And that's, it is what it is. Anyway, Mystic stop. Come on, Auntie Patty. Okay, overstand. That's what she said. They said overstand, understand. So listen, and I'm done, y'all. Somebody called my phone. And I guess they thought because I was a brown skinned person that I was into that overstand, understand, and Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett type of bullshit. Respectfully, Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, those people, they brought some type of knowledge, but they still got the knowledge from the people that they talk about. And I don't like that. You're not going to bite the hand that feeds you. To me, that's some weird shit. To me, what I look like learning about proper ancestor veneration from the Taoist, and then I come out and I talk about the Taoist, y'all, just for clout. So with that being said, she got on my phone and we were having dialogue and everything was perfectly fine. And all of a sudden she was like, I definitely understand, my sister. And I said, what? Because I've heard that term a long time. I was like, what should this call me? And she was like, I said, I definitely understand, my sister. And I said, oh, I wasn't gagging at the sister part. And she's like, oh, no. I was like, I'm gagging at the understand part. What exactly is understanding? Because inner and under is probably the same word. And you're intentionally saying understanding instead of understanding. So that's a little cringy for me. And she was like, oh, you're cringing because I said understand? Yeah, did you make that up or where did you get that from? And she said, no, it's a term that's used in the community. What community, girl? What community? LGBT, black community, white community? I'm confused. What community? Well, the community. Well, what community? You don't know the community? There's multiple communities, girl. The Jewish have their community. The Spanish speaker got their community. The African got their community. What is a community, ma'am? And then, girl, and I said, respectfully, we don't got no problem. It kind of went left. I do want to say this respectfully. Please speak proper English. If we're going to speak another language, you want to speak Arabic, you want to speak a little bit of Chinese, you want to speak some Vietnamese, you want to speak some Spanish, some French. I know, little to moderate words, proficient in some of them. We can have that dialogue. But in English, we're not going to butcher and cut up English like that, babe. We're not going to say kishy kush. And I'm like, what is kushy kush? And you're like, that means kiss. In what language? Oh, that's English. No, it's not. Oh, we are. My community is. Well, talk to your fucking community, girl, because that's not English, babe. So, like I said, respectfully, let's just keep it, and we worked it out. But I get, because I never forget that. I was like, understand? Like, where these people be getting the shit from, girl? I don't use the word understand, because that means I'm not really understanding, because under is beneath, and you're not seeing it. Yeah, but it also says as above, so below. So, and that's how I be thinking too, that people be so egotistical that they be trying to like rewrite things that have already been rewritten. Like they already took something that's not theirs, and then you're trying to take something that's not theirs or yours and make it something else. Like your people never said understanding. I overstand, so I understand, so I will be stand. Messing with that bullshit, Tu Wong Fu shit, girl. And I know it's no what Tu Wong Fu. Dr. Seuss cat in the hat shit. Not Tu Wong Fu, girl. Cat in the hat, Dr. Seuss shit. Messing with that. Do you understand? And if you don't want to use the word understand, say, I am comprehending everything you're saying. I would like that word, comprehend. I'm comprehending every apprehende. I'm comprehending everything. I'm learning. Comprehending comes from the Spanish word apprehende, which is learning. So you're with learning. You're learning from what is being said. And so I would prefer that. But the understanding shit, girl, you're understanding with what? I'm confused. What are you understanding with? In the inside, I'm standing with what you're saying. In the inside, bitch, the fuck? Excuse me? I don't know, girl. To each his own. Potato, tomato, tomato, monato, Caliminano, she is a cambiano. I don't know, girl. It is what it is, girl. I'm going to leave that be. But listen, you can always reach me, y'all, twospiritmixer.blogspot.com, twospiritmixer@gmail.com. And y'all, ooh, that mushroom got me up, girl. Shout out to Capri Sun. Is it the mushroom or is it the monk fruit? Ow! Let's see, girl. I had one. Yeah, it's only 9 grams of sugar, girl. It did not, that 9 grams did not get me up like that. How? Okay. And so, let me go. Okay, girl, it came from Phil Valentine. Okay, there you go. Mister, you know the weird Nikki account? No, no. Which one? Which one? Where's Nikki at? Hey, grandma, great aunts are too busy being cold-hearted to give insider wisdom. You said it, Rick McFarlane. But see, you know what I be saying too, Rick McFarlane. How you doing, baby? Well, this is what I want to say too. See, I don't have to be right. Because at the end of the day, I know as a human being, even if I'm 30, 40, 50, 60, I am still an infant in nature because they said that we're still a type 0 civilization. So when you get into Eurodynamics and Eurogenes and the study of people and civilizations and all that, you understand that we are all still infants. So we don't know. We're learning as we're going. And every era is learning as they're going. We've been on this planet for thousands of years, for sure, hundreds of years, and we're still in our infantile stage. So with that being said, as somebody who decides to take on a role, because no one told me that I had to be a mom. Nobody told me that I had to be a teacher. Nobody told me that I had to come out and be a friend. Because a lot of people don't have friends. A lot of people are not teachers. A lot of people are not parents. They're single. They're in their house. They don't come out. They don't deal with people. So nobody told me this. If I, being in my right mind, is somebody that has common sense and have any type of intelligence, I'm going to come out and say, you guys, you know what? I am still learning what is meant to be a woman. And I made some mistakes in the past, and I'm willing to accept that. But together we can grow, we can learn, we can do better. And I'm willing to share with you guys what I've learned so that I can stay on the right path and we can kind of encourage or motivate each other. I would respect people like that, Ricky, that have trauma issues. Their mom and daddy didn't teach them how to properly clean their ass. Their mother and father didn't properly teach them how to have sex. Because a lot of people never had the birds and bees conversation. The mom and daddy never taught them proper hygiene, how to court. Because nobody talks about courtship no more neither. Everybody just meet up with a man, they pop up pregnant, that's, oh yeah, congratulations. What about courting, girl? Where's the courtship at? Okay, we don't do that no more. We lost a lot of that. And so, like I said, I would respect that from those people than people who come out as, hey, I'm the baddest bitch. Hey, y'all, what's up, y'all? I'm the baddest bitch out there. Y'all better call me that. I'm the biggest witch. I'm the most powerful witch. I got that magic, y'all. And then when you question it, it's like, bitch, don't question me. So wait a minute. So how are you going to be here to teach me patience and teach me proper etiquettes of being a woman or being a goddess and you don't even know how to maintain that type of energy or that type of imagery. Your presentation is off. And that's where it's at for me as a presenter, as a whatever. I am from a certain community, trans community, whatever community y'all want to put me in, but I don't live my life like these people. And it's not a intentional thing. I'm just me. So I couldn't tell you what it's like to go to a gay club out here. I couldn't tell you what it's like to vogue at a ballroom scene because that's not me. Mystic Persia's not a ballroom scene girl. Mystic Persia's not a gay club girl. Mystic Persia doesn't go to tranny bars and tranny clubs and tranny hangouts. That's not me. I'm me. And so I could just show you what it's like to be me. When I am trying to elevate my people, LGBT, black, white, whatever you are, however you identify, however we connect, I'm showing you that you don't have to live by the norms. You don't have to live by what the boxes or what people told you to be by. I don't got to be a broke witch to teach you how to not to be a broke witch. I don't have to be from the ghetto and completely change my ghetto ways and still want to be there and say, well, I got to act like I'm ghetto because I'm trying to inspire my ghetto people how to be better ghetto people. And that's what this should be giving me. It be giving me trauma, spiritualists, trauma, dictators trying to teach you how to get out your trauma when they still in the trauma. And like go even to like the Phil Valentines and the blue pill, yellow pill, red pill, blue pill, where these people have like woman issues. And yeah, they're trying to teach y'all how to be real man or how to heal yourself. How the fuck you teach the people how to heal themselves and you're not even healed? You haven't got your mama and your daddy issues worked out. You still hold on to shit that happened 1970, 1950. So how are you teaching these people how to be better than when you're not better you? And that's where it comes out for me. I don't know these people personally, but it's like, damn, bro, like you're allowing people to be comfortable in their dilemma, in their energy. And that's same thing why too, going into rappers and stuff. I don't care for certain rappers because they're not motivating you to level your shit up. When I talk about female rappers that I love, like Megan Thee Stallion, Ken the Man, all these other people, these are people that encourage you to stay hood, but to do better. And that's what I like. So yes, stay black because you're gonna be black regardless of what it is that you do and how you do it. But you gotta be better. You gotta better yourself. There's no more. Oh, I'm black, so black. I'm ghetto. Black means I go into a store with my pants sagging. I said, "What's up, nigga?" That girl, that's not black. That is not your culture, honey. That's the culture that they told you to do because you thought that it was okay to do it. They dumbed you down. They taught you. They gave you a mirror, and you believed what you saw. And so you're playing a stereotype of what they wanted you to be. And that's where I be getting at with that. It don't be me cutting, it don't be me reading. I just look and I pay attention like, damn, like, why is it that these other people come from nothing and they don't act that way? Look at Anna Nicole Smith. Look at Anna Nicole Smith. Anna Nicole Smith was trailer park trash. Look how that woman lived her life in the scene, behind the scenes, and in front of our eyes. This lady was trailer park trash, but that trailer park trash energy never left her, but mama knew how to present herself. And so that's where it's at for me. Like, yes, mom and daddy probably didn't teach you. Yeah, I didn't know what it's like to be a woman because my mama wasn't there. I was adopted. But this is when you learn. They got books out there since the 1970s. They have women out there. They have people that got books on proper hygiene. They got book like girl. And this is what they also say too, that black people don't read. They also said put it in the books because they don't read it. That's also what they said. They said that black folks don't read. They said that color folks don't know how to read. And so you don't read books on how to be a woman. You don't read, oh, I don't have to because I am just a woman. No, you have a uterus. That's what you are. But you're not a woman because you don't act like one. You don't have proper etiquettes for that. There'll be, like I said, instead of people out here putting down trans people, you should be teaching women how to keep their yoni safe and sacred and stop giving up to bummy ass people. Because see, even these bums be cocky. These bums be cocky because some of you bad bitches be giving them your shit. And see, if you lock that shit down and you have rules and regulations, they'll learn. And as I said, when men come across me and I interact with a man, I put them in, oh, you think you the shit. No, you just never had a bad bitch like me. These other bitches think they bad because they pretty. These other bitches think they're bad because they make money. Badness is an attitude. And baby, I know my worth. I know who I am. I've worked hard to get here. And so you're not going to step in and talk to me any type of way because you want your dick sucked. That's not how it works over here, babe. Because baby, we could do that anywhere. I can go outside. I can go outside. Girl, hello? Like what makes your dick better than his? And that's where I'm at with that. So like I said, respectfully, we need to be showing people how to be better them. Nah, oh y'all, I'm a project witch. So I'm gonna show y'all how to be a project because I'm ghetto as fuck. And I want y'all to be a ghetto witch too. And they're like, yes, girl, I'm from the ghetto too, sis. Hey, she's a ghetto witch. A ghetto witch. So you have the ability to manifest and you choose to manifest the project life? Well, this is who I am. You're never gonna take the project out of me. Well, I'm a little ghetto too. I'm a little ghetto too, honey. I'm a little Stockton. But guess what? Everybody don't have to see the Stockton side. And it's not about me being ashamed. It's just about me knowing there's a time and place for all things. Same thing with me being transgender. I'm transgender regardless of if I'm cut, if I'm not cut, if I'm pre-op, I'm post-op. It doesn't matter. I was born anatomically one gender and I present to live my life as another gender. So I don't have to go out about and say, hi y'all, TS here. Hello, TS. Hey y'all, hello, I'm a tranny. Hey, I'm a nigga. I don't gotta do all that. Hey, you wanna eat me? Yeah, you like trannies? Like, girl, what? There's a time and a place for everything. And I understand that. So this is why I can step into places and sit at tables that a lot of people cannot sit at. And even going to people saying, well, what tables do you sit at? Because I'm looking at your channel and your channel ain't shit. The channel is an aspect of me. It's not all of me. I don't give my all to YouTube. But people who know me in real life, they can vouch, they can tell you. My best friends, my sisters, people that see me in person, they can tell you what energy I give and how I maneuver. I don't give a fuck about anything, girl. Listen, if I want to go out today with polka dots on and wrinkled pants on, I'm gonna do that. And guess what? I'm still gonna get somebody's number. I'm still gonna get somebody saying, damn mama, you get me hard. I'm still gonna get that. And better yet, guess what? It used to be the peasant style, basic ass corner hole, drunkens, homeless men trying to holler. Oh, girl, you looking good. Like, what you gonna do for me? Like, you ain't got no place. And now it'd be the ones that got it. Oh, hey, how you doing? Well, I want to give you my business card. Oh, what you do? I'm a realtor. Okay, thank you. Let me get it. And then I get the business card. Oh, okay, well. And they're like, are you looking to buy a house? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna hold out. Well, take my card anyway. And then what's your name? And then they write my name down. It's like, oh, do you always give this? And they're like, no, I just think something about you, something about you and I, we're vibing. Like, and people are like, girl, what's going on there? I'm like, I don't know. He just started talking about his real estate. And now he want me to call his number anyway, even though I'm not trying to buy a house. And that's how that works. Because, bitch, I know who the fuck I am. I don't need you to validate my experience. And that'd be our problem. We want people to validate our ghetto-ness. Oh, I don't want to be something I'm not. I'm ghetto, I'm ghetto, I'm ghetto. But you're not you, because you're not ghetto. You grew up in the ghetto, but you're not ghetto. You are choosing to be that, and you want people to validate that ghetto-ness in you. And that's what it comes down to, respectfully. Same thing with transgendered and shit. That's a part of you, but that's not who you are. You're not transgender. That is a part of your experience. So you don't have to always have that on. Oh, I don't care if they know today. I'm going to go out. I don't care. They can see me untucked. I don't care. Oh, they can see me unshaved. I don't care, girl. I want them to know, oh, yeah. Okay, girl. Yeah, and then when they call you out on it, you're going to be like, oh, they misgendered me. No, they didn't. Because they know man or woman, and you said you didn't give a fuck about them knowing your status, and that's what it is. Across from. Trans means across from. Cis means on the other side of or on the same side as. Can we talk about it? Is that a little too deep for y'all? Honey, like I said, I like to read, I like to educate. Okay, like to read it, honey. I'm like an open dictionary. How? Call me a librarian, girl. I wonder if I was a librarian in any of my lives. I wonder, girl. Should I call myself the librarian? Hello. Should I say that the library is open? Should I say the Akashic records are open? Ooh. When I do a reading, I gotta figure out what that season is gonna be called, y'all. That series, the Read series, the Akashic renewal, the renewal of the Akashic. The renewal of the seas. I feel like I want to include water. I think I want to do water in the Akashic records. Say like the Aqua Akashic. The Aqua Akashic sessions. Because with the reading session, I like to wash away some shit and instill some things in you. Please, y'all let me go. Missy, do you know? Oh, okay, we already read it. I don't know who Nikki is. I'm sorry. I kind of got on a tangent. Y'all let me go. I need to go eat, y'all. I need to go walk my babies too. I think it's like 2 something already, y'all. We got on here at 12 o'clock. Y'all need to rest my voice a little bit. I just been talking. And I'm in a good mood. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, can I be excited? Can I be excited? We're about to go for a 30-minute walk. It's starting to get hot, y'all. and I cleaned up today. Yes, did a little bit of TTT. How you doing? And when I say TTT, I mean like cleaned up and did some tea, not drugs. We don't do drugs. If you ever want me to do a drug test, live or go to an actual blood place with Quest Diagnostics or something, you go ahead and send me a message. I would gladly do it. Any given time, we can do a blood test, a urine test, a hair test, strand. We can do all that, girl. No drugs over here, no medication. Only thing I take is my herbs, which is like my tinctures, like dandelion detox and all that good stuff. And of course, we eat our fruits and vegetables. Yes, y'all know me. Very energetic, very happy. Yes, when I'm not feeling good, I don't get on. Yeah, when I'm not feeling my best, I don't talk to people. Anyway, let me go, y'all. Love you, lights, and we'll definitely be back again soon. Good seeing you, Evan. Good seeing you, Rick Farling. Good seeing you, CJ Hather 82 Skies, and of course you, Auntie Patty. How you doing? I really want to see Auntie Patty. I really want to see her one day. I gotta meet Auntie Patty before she leave up out of here. She looked like she smelled good. She's like the godmother of Geminis right now. And she's the oldest Gemini that I know of. She's like the fairy godmother of all the Geminis. Shout out to my Gemini brothers and sisters out there. I know you May Geminis are different from us June Geminis. Yeah. And I know you beginner Junes are even different from the ending of June. So as ending of June Geminis, we're even different. We're even more different from the rest of you hoes, respectfully. I think one of my sisters is toward the end of June too. But I love all my Geminis. So I don't got a problem with none of y'all, girl. June, May, it doesn't matter, girl. My grandfather was a June Gemini. Did y'all believe that? He married a Libra. Girl, of course he ended up marrying a Libra girl because Geminis and Libras were compatible, girl. We get each other weirdness, honey. How you doing? Matter of fact, yeah, let me go, y'all. I'm getting too excited, y'all. Let me go. Ow! Let me go. Bam. Gotta go. Good seeing y'all. See y'all again soon. Bye for now.